Everybody's gotta believe in something. 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 Break it down. What's the plan? Break it down.
Africa TV Freak Up Studio live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6 2021 GSL Season 1.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Day 2 here of the GSL in the round of 8. We had a fantastic Day 1, and I actually think today is going to be even better.
I know that today will be better. And Day 1 was very interesting. It was very different, very cheesy, very aggressive.
Yeah.
And it was entertaining, there's no doubt.
Very different games, each one of them.
Yeah, it's like...
And not the games where you teach somebody StarCraft with,
no,
so to speak.
Yeah. So, like...
The games are almost each one of them like a parable.
Because when you say it was like a really great Day 1, I'm like, yes, but let's define great.
Okay.
It was highly entertaining. It was crazy and exciting. Was it the highest quality of StarCraft? That could be debated.
Lessons could be learned for
Yes.
sure. You can see definitely the range of different ways to play the game for sure.
Indeed.
But not a lot of textbook games, definitely.
No,
so,
it was Cheese City.
It was Cheese Nation.
Cheese Nation.
It was Cheese Continent.
Cheese World.
Cheese World. Dream versus Rogue is what awaits us in the round of 4. But today it's going to be Hurricane versus Maru, and Innovation versus Trap. So 2 high-quality best-of-5 PVTs for us.
Yeah, this is... these are a couple very interesting matches. I think that the one that people mostly are going to be excited for is going to be Innovation Trap. But, I mean, Hurricane Maru, I think, will be kind of cool because Maru is kind of the ultimate Terran, right? And Hurricane, I don't, can he do it? Could he beat Maru?
I don't think so. We'll see. Quick interview first, then I'll talk about
Ahead
that.
of our first round of 8 match, we have a fantastic TVP waiting for us. And these two players are absolutely strong. And Hurricane has made it to his first quarterfinals too. Hello. Hello.
네, 먼저 남기웅 선수입니다.
Hurricane, you first.
2019년 시즌 2 이후 약 2년 만에
After 2019 season 2, you have made it
걸쳐서
here on the GSL
오셨잖아요.
stage after 2 years.
컨디션 어떠신가요?
So how are you feeling today, Hurricane?
일단 잠도 잘 안 오고
Well, you know, I couldn't sleep.
좋지는 않은데 그래도
And my condition's
경기
not
시작하면
all that good.
긴장도 되고 해서 잘할 수 있지 않을까
But
생각합니다.
you know, I'll try to play
오늘
well
경기
today.
긴장 때문에 혹시 잠 못 자셨어요?
So were you nervous
그건
before the match?
잘 모르겠어요. 그냥
I'm
잠이
not
안
so
오더라고요.
sure. I just couldn't sleep
남기웅
yesterday.
선수가 각성할 땐 전성기 때 닙도 잡고 세라도 잡고
And Hurricane,
작년엔 GSL
in your
4강도
prime,
갔었잖아요.
you beat Cyril,
오늘 상대
and you beat all the strong
조성주에 대한
players.
생각 어떠신가요?
So what do you think about Maru
선수
today?
제가 생각하기에 테란 중에 거의 제일 잘한다고.
Well, I think Maru
생각하고
is the best
토스전은
Terran
또
right now.
엄청 잘한다고 생각해서
And his TVP
많이
is awesome as
걱정하고
well.
있습니다.
So I'm really
네,
worried.
말씀에서 걱정이 조금 느껴집니다. 자, 이번에는 조성주
Alright,
선수
Maru.
만나볼게요. GSL에서 가장 많이 8강에 오른
You have
선수이기도
made it to
합니다.
the round of 8 the
무려
most
15번째
in GSL. You have made it to the round of 8
조성주 선수는
15
어떤 마음으로
times.
오셨나요?
So
준비하면서
How did you prepare?
이제 좀 어려워가지고.
well, my preparation has been difficult. So I came here with an easy mind.
상대가 각성하면 S급 선수도 잡는 그런 저력이 있는 선수인데
I mean, Hurricane
걱정이
has
좀
the potential
없으셨나요?
to be really strong players, Maru. So what do you think about that?
토스가 그럴 수밖에 없어.
Well, I mean, he's a Protoss. What else can you say?
그것은 종빨이었다.
So you're saying Protoss is the
아니지만
absolute strong race?
토스가 그런 것 같아요.
I mean, yes, I'm Protoss is
그게
OP.
정말 아닌가요?
그냥 많다고 했어요.
Yeah, Protoss is OP.
알겠습니다.
Apparently.
자, 그러면 연습은 어떻게 하셨을까요? 프로토스전 자신
See our
So
Toast's
how did your
face
practice
right
go,
now.
Maru?
하셨을까요?
Your TVP practice.
우선 제 주변에 토스
Well, first of
지인들이
all,
많아가지고
I have a lot of Protoss
그분들한테
friends,
부탁을 해서
so I asked them for
열심히 했던 것
scrims,
같아요.
and my scrim went
그분이
fine.
10년 동안 GSL 공식전에서 단 한 번도 만나지
And
않았다는
you have
사실이 참
never met
재밌기도 합니다.
Hurricane in the
남준
official
선수는
match
좀
before,
그런 면에서
Maru.
좀 설레기도 할까요?
So Hurricane, are you kind of excited about this?
설렌다기보다
Excitement, maybe not. Excitement.
걱정이 돼요.
I'm just worried. Absolutely worried.
이렇게 처음 만난 김에 어떤 경기로
So Maru,
또
this is the
어떤
first time you
모습
encounter
보여주실지
Hurricane in the
기대가
official
되는데요.
match. So we are really
경기 시작하기
excited
전에
about this
한
match as
말씀
well.
또 먼저 해주실까요?
So before you go, anything you want to say?
저는 GSL 공식 선상에서는 처음인데.
Well, that is right. We
제가
have never met in
이기고
GSL.
가겠습니다.
I'm just gonna beat him.
이기고 가겠다 하셨는데요.
Well, Hurricane, how are you gonna answer that?
궁지에 몰린 쥐처럼
Well, I'm
최선을
cornered,
다해보겠습니다.
but I'm gonna try my best too.
최선을 다하겠다. 마지막
Alright,
한
Hurricane.
말씀까지 들어봤습니다. 2019년 4강에 오르며 돌풍의 핵으로 떠올랐던 남기웅
So
선수와
Hurricane has made it to
GSL에서
the round of
가장
4 in
많은 4강에
2019.
올라갔던
He was
조성주
taking
선수의
GSL by the storm
8강
back then.
4차 대결
And Maru is the
시작하겠습니다.
ever fearsome player. Who will win today?
Dude, Hurricane is wearing that GSL jacket so hard. I'm surprised he doesn't have a GSL space helmet on with it. Jeez, zipped up all the way, man. He's
know.
got his GSL middies on. He's got his GSL galoshes. Oh, God.
So coming into this, I think Maru is the clear favorite, despite him being concerned about Hurricane as a Protoss player.
Yeah. His interviews, by the way, always stellar.
Always the best. I enjoy watching the games, but really I come here for the interviews with Maru.
Yeah.
If anything.
Seasons where he doesn't make it to the interview stage, I just don't even want to be here.
Yeah, those are the GSLs I don't rewatch,
Yeah.
are the ones where there's no Maru interviews. So, I mean, let's see what Hurricane can do. Maru, extremely consistent here, especially in Legacy of the Void. Again, I've said it many times, but it always rings true. Bigger, better, faster, stronger in every sense, and tends to just outpace his opponents.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he's just better than them in every way. Like
Yeah.
micro, macro, multitasking, strategy. Just he's just monstrous.
And so, Hurricane, going into this, I mean, it would be insane if he actually managed to win and come out on top. I just don't know if it's going to happen. A best of 5 especially. It's hard to really pull a fast one on your opponent. You have enough time to show enough different openers and get enough of an idea, basically investigate your opponent's play style in the first game or two. But, you know, that being said, Hurricane has had plenty of time to prepare. I do feel that Hurricane is continuing to improve and bring out a better iteration of himself in every day of GSL that we cast of him. So let's see what happens.
Yeah, he definitely has been getting better over time, and we're seeing better results, that's always really nice and really promising. You can see Maru so far hasn't had too hard of a run, dropping a couple maps, but just kind of coming straight here as you would expect. And yeah, I mean, definitely one of the favorites overall of the tournament right now.
Yeah, there's a very realistic possibility that this is a Maru Rogue final.
Yeah, very realistic.
Which is something to look forward to for sure.
Yeah. Well, honestly, you look at who's left, it's like, I think everyone's going to write off Dream, so it should be Rogue versus like one of these four today,
yeah,
right? And those are exciting.
Very often in the Final Four, we do have one player that is a bit weaker. Yeah. Obviously strong enough to be a top 4 player, but usually it's 3 others or 2 others that are really the people you got your eyes on. We're going to load this up for Map 1. This is Hurricane versus Maru, a fight for the 3rd remaining spot in the round of 4 in the GSL Code S.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life like 10 by 10.
Hurricane.
I do want to give a shout out to the players for vetoing Blackburn and Nautilus and then putting 2000 Atmospheres as the last map just to make sure that this is as vanilla as possible.
Yes.
Team NV, Maru.
Don't want to have anything too interesting. You don't want anything outshining the Maru interview here.
Yeah,
you know?
That's right.
We got to just... the only way we could do more is... Let's just bring back Death Aura for this match and just play it 5 times in a row, you know?
That's all I really want. So immediately we have the probe scouting out any close proxy locations. It's going to be a pretty ordinary opener for starts here for Maru. No proxies, nothing like that. We do know Maru is more than capable of proxying. There were entire seasons that he proxied more than he actually made buildings inside of his main. But he seems to have dialed that back a little bit now.
Yeah,
which is, I think is a sign of a good player, is that the range of different styles is varying to the point where it's very difficult to ever have a proper read.
He had 3 seasons where he won GSL in a row that were very proxy heavy. And then the 4th season that he won in a row was all long macro games. It was actually very fascinating the way that changed. Over time, but yeah, he's the best late game Terran player, I think. Really, it's like him and TY, and and TY is like basically my favorite player. Like I love the way that he plays, but in a lot of ways I feel like Maru outpaces him. He's like better at expanding through the late game. I think.
Yeah, I think especially in the late game,
there's this.
It's worth highlighting.
Yeah.
He does seem to just like seize up more of the map more quickly.
Yeah, he's disgustingly competent at late game Terran.
It's just like he's so fast. By the way, the Reaper does get inside the bunker
so
along with the SCV, and this is a great way to
look at the shields
slow down.
Like when it shoots and the shields like pop up, it reminds me of the beginning of Independence Day where people are shooting their guns at the mothership.
Spaceships, yeah. Learning that in fact their weapons are completely useless against the aliens.
Which is basically the Reaper in the bunker here. It's like, hey, like, I mean, maybe we'll stop him from making some probes, so that's kind of nice.
So, I mean, the real idea behind this strategy is to make it so that probes can't mine. And, of course, you can't have an oversaturated, or I guess, let me rephrase that. You can have oversaturation at, your minerals when you're mining. So, in other words, like, the other probes basically don't have any useful role right now since they can't easily long-distance mine.
Yeah, it's actually being really annoying for him right now. He only has a single stalker hitting it, and he's doing a lot of things, so, like, he's having a hard time even targeting down. Look at that. Pops it out to throw the grenade down. It's so funny.
Does get the SCV, which means that over time, these stalkers are going to chip away enough that this bunker is going down.
And he actually just goes ahead and sells it. runs through with the scout and not going to find it because there is a proxied Stargate. Now, let's see if he gets some damage done. I believe he will, Tasteless.
Okay, workers starting to go down. This is actually pretty big here for Hurricane because there's not a lot of recourse right now for the Terran. Even this one Marine, if he chooses to, he can just go and kill that off immediately. But now it's going to be Maru's turn.
Oh my
4
God.
Hellions is a lot of damage, and keep in mind that Oracle has ran out of energy, so it can't kill more SCVs back at home. Whereas as long as there's HP over here on these Hellions, damage can be dealt to these probes. And if he actually turns and hits this, just 1 or 2 more hits, and it's almost every probe.
I just don't even...
I can't believe he didn't actually branch that out more.
Why? Why did he turn that around?
Yeah, I don't know.
He had them, like, you couldn't have stacked them better for Maru. And now he's lost 20 probes in the blink of an eye. Tasteless.
Well, that was surprising. I mean, the initial fight, of course, yeah, that amount of damage can come in. There's actually not much any good Protoss player can do.
Yeah,
but
no, totally.
when he pulled them back, I'm just stunned.
Honestly, like, he was actually targeting the medevac as well instead of the Hellions. I feel like in this situation, that's probably, you want to target the Hellions as quickly as possible, but also it's better to spread the probes rather than restack them and send them back to the main.
It's better to stop them and then fork them out. And I think you are probably right about the targeting of the medevac. I think in most cases, targeting the medevac, if you know you can kill it and then kill the drop, is better. Just because, you know, that unit can't be recycled into another drop or be reinforced with a larger army later on. But in reality, what you really need to do, the fire that really needs to be put out is workers being killed.
Yeah, and honestly, like, he was always going to get 12, 13 probe kills, but I don't think he needed 20, you know? I think that there were definitely mistakes made by Hurricane there, unfortunately.
Yeah, spotting of the proxied Stargates just now happened. Not really a big deal. He probably already knew that was proxied since he didn't see anything in the main, or probably shouldn't have. Yeah. So now the game goes on. The worker counts are actually fairly even. How many SCVs were actually killed overall? Do we know?
I think he ended up getting like 12 total, or approximately like that. But yeah, I would say after that, when you see equal worker counts like that at this point in the game, that's definitely a Terran victory.
Yeah, because of mules.
Yeah, the mules, and you actually expect Terran to have less workers than Protoss, right? Between Chrono Boost and the speed of the Nexus, and you have to actually make the orbitals, which interrupts SCV production time, all those things. Like, basically, anytime you see equal workers, that's good for Terran.
So the Oracle is coming up, and the Stalkers are going to have a little bit of pressure they can put on here. Good catch there with the Widow Mine.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to really get anything done, though. Like, plenty of defense here. He is going blank, so maybe eventually we can get a little harassment, but by then Maru's going to have a pretty big army. Maru is adding a couple more barracks right now. And yeah, it feels like Maru is gearing up for a very heavy 2-base push, which I think is going to be a great choice for him this game, considering it's Blink and +1 on the way after Oracle Phoenix. That's like the definition of a soft Protoss army.
Oh, yeah. Very squishy Protoss army for sure. But at least in this position, you know, with the third being taken, you can leverage that, and you have the opportunity to run away and try to counterattack, especially with Blink being done. And you know, this is a good, at least positional setup here for Protoss.
Yeah, he's kind of got him a little bit pinned here, but Maru's army's going to get pretty big. He's going to land that third CC and move out with this push, and it is going to be strong because he's going to be on 1-1 against +1. I guess we'll have charge just around the time that Maru probably gets across the map.
Wow, that was actually a very fortunate dodge as he came up there. He's going to go and get rid of the stim, and that is huge, especially in a second he can actually blink out. I guess he can now. He's going to try to micro this as best he can.
Yeah, that was a...
this was probably better to just blink away immediately, but he kills that stim, which really takes the wind out of the sails of any pushes from Terran. I mean, infantry can't fight in mid-game at all without stim.
Yeah, that's for sure. So that was a great moment for Hurricane, for sure. Like, it's not as painful as it was, like, back before they buffed the stim research speed, but it's still such a strong thing, right? Because he definitely wanted to do a bit of a push at 1-1 and stim. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
But here he is. He's got to wait till that stim, like you mentioned. He can't really move across right now. He is still going to get a very strong, very scary army, but it buys Hurricane a ton of time.
Now these Adepts getting cleaned up. Not bad, actually, killing 3 SCVs. Not the biggest deal of this game, but another little victory there for Hurricane.
Yeah, that Adept wasn't going to do much else, that's for sure.
So Stim is going to be done in a little bit here. Really, the whole game was balanced around stimmed units fighting Zerg and Terran and Protoss. It's an upgrade you simply can't go without. But, you know, Concussive Shells is going to finish, and I think we're going to see Terran push out now with Stim probably finishing roughly around when the Terran gets down to the bottom part of the map.
Yeah, he's got that lined up pretty well. He's moving out.
Maru has greatly outproduced Hurricane here.
Yeah, and you would expect this right now. Now, he just needs to buy a little bit of time so Psystorm's done.
Yeah.
And, like, I think he's just going to be fine. Now, this would not even be close if he hadn't forced a cancel on Stim. But as is, throws down the Guardian Shield, throwing down a force field there. Doesn't do too much, but, you know, definitely Maru's getting a little bit done here, but he's about to have Storm in his face.
Yeah.
There you go.
And he's just whittling away at this. I mean, I'm a little bit worried here because it seems like the units are staggered out enough. It's going to be kind of hard for the Protoss to ever have enough anymore, especially, you know, there's being more produced behind this. There's going to be a second wave here. Is he going to get that Archon at the bottom? Ooh. You know, I think just barely Maru ends the game.
I
don't know where the reinforcements
are,
but
one
here they are.
Be able to push it back. Oh, a lot more mines coming in. That makes it very painful. Yeah, you might be right. This might just end.
I think we've reached the tipping point here.
It feels like
GG.
Okay, I feel like Hurricane didn't have to die right there. I think he didn't really handle that well. Like, he threw down a Guardian Shield and 1 force field, whereas I think if you make a little line of force fields in front of your Nat so he can't invade there easily and back up towards your shield batteries at your 3rd, it buys you a bit more time for your Storm, and then you actually have Zealots with your Storm, because once you go down to just Storm, you don't kill anything. You need Army and Storm. So I feel like there was several misplays here from Hurricane this game.
I do agree with that. I also think that that is a very Maru-like ending, right? There were back and forth moments there. I mean, we saw the Stim get denied, which really curbed the progress of an attack there from Maru. You know, Hurricane doing a good job there. Hurricane had some good plays, but every little fight, overall, I think Maru won the more important ones. And ultimately, he just had more. I mean, it is probably true that Hurricane could have done a few things differently in that last fight that we had, but big picture, Maru was basically propelling that to another win there. And so now we're going to go to Lightshade for map number 2.
All right, Lightshade. Well, Maru definitely playing a bit better than Hurricane there. A sloppy, crazy game from both of them, getting very aggressive with their proxy ports. Let's see how it goes, game 2.
Yeah, let's do it. Our game's now loaded up. Hurricane versus Maru. Right now, Maru with a 1-0 lead.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. They're living a life like
All right, it's about time. Best of 5. You gotta have the double proxy racks at some point.
Yep. Yeah, we knew this was going to happen in at least one of the possibly 5 games we'd have tonight. Let's see what type of double racks this is. There's not just 2 SCVs sent out.
Yeah, just 2.
I thought I saw a 3rd for a second.
I mean, it could be as simple as Marines. He's not getting any gas yet. We'll see if he does throw one down now that he's started the 2 racks.
If he does get the gas, could it be that Marauder pressure that can be so annoying to deal with if you just misstep at the start?
Yeah, it could be. It could, but he has 2 racks, and one is made in a location that can't get a tech lab.
I thought that probe was one expansion above
Oh,
that one.
Yeah, that would have been funny. Just finds it instantly.
So gas is being taken here. Let's see if he throws a tech lab onto this.
Well,
Or is it
I think
or is it just
it's-
Reapers?
I think it's going to be Marines to start.
Marines? Okay.
And maybe he's going to go factory at home. I'm not 100% sure, though. We'll see.
There's a lot of ways to do this. It's one of the reasons why it's not just the idea of being proxy that's scary. It's the type of proxy compared to the build that is, you know, the soon to discovered. The player's going to discover that he's a defender.
Yeah.
You know, is he equipped to deal with that or not?
Well, unfortunately for Hurricane, he decided not to scout this game.
Yeah.
So that's going to be heart-wrenching for him.
Okay.
You got to cancel the CC.
The Nexus, yeah. This is
The hatchery taste.
The
You got to
hatchery.
cancel
Sorry.
the hatch, dude. It just has to go down.
This is rough. Kind of a classic bunker rush. We used to see this against Zergs in the early days of StarCraft, even back into StarCraft 1. But especially with the way that Legacy of the Void has been built, everybody's kind of opening up like a Zerg, or at least has the option to do that, and therefore they're vulnerable to attacks like this.
Now, out comes the Stalker, so, like, I don't think he's going to end up dying, but let's see how much damage Maru actually puts out. Couple probes. Oh, he actually did let the Nexus finish.
So that means he has to really hold this fight here, which worries me a little bit. Because 4 Marines in here is enough to chip away at a Nexus. We're already about a 5th or a 6th of the way through the life of this Nexus, and I don't see any...
He can't save the Nexus.
Yeah, I don't see any special opportunities here for the Protoss to try to come out and save this. And honestly, losing a Nexus this early, it is extremely... it's a very damning situation.
The only thing I can think is
Did he
maybe
spot
you
that?
are... Yeah, he
Okay, he did.
spotted that. Oh, my God. The only thing I can think is maybe you wanted him to commit into making more Marines there or something like that, but that does, like, I feel like he should have canceled it. Like, it's pretty obvious when that comes that you cannot save the Nexus.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Like, before the attack happened, I thought, yeah, of course you have to cancel the Nexus because you're only going to have Stalkers. Then when he finished it, I thought, for just a second, okay, maybe there's something I don't know. He's going to have some other way around this, or there's some reason for having this finish, and it doesn't appear there was.
Yeah, you'd have to, like, maybe if you have a pylon down there, like, behind the Nexus, you can throw up a couple shield batteries.
Oh.
Something like that could change the situation.
By
okay,
the way,
well, I mean, the pylon's going to die. Like,
yeah.
what are...
So I was going to say, for those of you at home who would think, yeah, but he lets the Nexus finish, and then he won't be expecting this proxy gateway. Actually, the only thing you're worried about after killing that Nexus is a proxy something. Because everything else is so straightforward because you're so far ahead. So you just have to tick off those boxes by scouting, which he did. He saw and he punished. And this is about as bad of a start for a Protoss that you can have given the situation.
The amount that he has nothing going on is truly quite startling.
Yeah.
Like, he really doesn't have anything going on for him. Like, his proxy has already been found. His pylon killed. He's taken a bunch of damage on his Stalkers. He's lost his Nexus. He went Observer first. Like, I mean, it's not that the Observer can't be useful or something. Oh, my God.
Dude, he's going to get the second Stalker.
Ooh, just gets away.
Oh! I feel like we're looking at the player cams, and the only way this game could get worse is if a piano fell on Hurricane right now.
There's just a crumpled human
Just
under it.
dead. Like,
the thing is, like, Maru can't even tell because he kills him just as bad either way.
Maru doesn't know. He just drops the main and destroys the buildings.
Like, did you know that a piano fell on your opponent, like, halfway through that game? He's like, oh, I thought it happened at the beginning of the game. Yeah, so the Observer flies and gets shot down. He sees that there's, like, everything in the world in Maru's main. He's going speed disruptor drop, it looks like, which...
That could be surprising,
yeah, yeah, that's like, you need some way to come back. And honestly, the Disruptor's one of the best comeback units in the game, right? It's... Like, you can get some lucky shots, and you have a speed prism, so, like, if you handle it just right, it's not going to die. It gives you some potential. I like that idea. But the, like, 3 ideas that came before that made this very tough on him.
So, it is true that Innovation has been known to be a little bit weak against disruptors, but not like this. We're talking about usually these back and forth fights that, did I say Innovation? I meant Maru, excuse me, a little bit weak against this, but not in a situation like this. I think if Maru handles this well, it's going to be another shutdown. There's already a Viking out here, so you know, with a Viking present, you can shoot at the Warp Prism.
Yeah, it's going to zone everything really well.
Okay, very nice. Going to get 2 tanks.
That was good. That was really good.
Now, maybe I really didn't expect that to go that well, but I mean, the way that the tanks are spaced, it was ideal for the disruptors.
Yeah.
They basically hit on both of them. And maybe now, actually, this is a very doable situation.
Yeah. This is suddenly he's opened this game up, and that's super cool to see. Just fantastically done with the double shade in to draw some tank fire, plus the 2 disruptor hits.
Okay, here we go. This is going to be huge. Oh, shuts down 1 disruptor. Great usage of the Raven there. And then targets this one. It is going to be picked up and saved, but the tank is down.
Yeah, that is definitely something. He still has both the disruptors and the prism.
Okay, so it's actually possible for Hurricane to win this.
Oh, absolutely now.
You know, he's repowered up.
In fact,
that
he's
gate.
got 3 Nexus stasis. He's going to win this game.
Yeah, I think that Maru really had to have those tanks better spaced to be ready for, you know, this is one of the only things that you could have to deal with. And again, it's not the most common play here for Protoss,
I
but it's
can't
a
remember
smart move.
seeing this in the last couple of years.
This looks
honestly.
like a Brood War PvT right now with Reavers and Dragoons harassing early on, really.
Oh, I thought you meant with the Terran being way ahead and losing.
But honestly, it does look like Dragoon Reaver harass in certain situations where you kind of get in there and pry them open. And
well, he did. Like it was super quick, and now like I was so like Maru was way ahead, and then he just busted him. He just like he did a lot of damage there, man. And now suddenly Hurricane has 3 bases, and he has this like pretty mobile force that he can continue to kind of pressure with. I think he actually should be careful right now, like not throw stuff away, because he's going into Colossi.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Oh, I thought it would go much better than that. Only 3 SCVs, but still.
Yeah, it costs him
worker
nothing.
kills are worker kills. Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, he like Hurricane right now is getting himself to an amazing position. What can Maru really do to come back now? He doesn't have disruptors.
Well, he's going to have 1 medevac on the map, outbound towards the 3rd base up here. But yeah, when you look at what Hurricane has at home, I mean, Hurricane is probably fine, right?
Yeah, I would imagine so. He has plenty of units. Like, as long as he's not completely out of position, he's in between the 2 bases, so like he'll lose a couple probes here, sure, but gonna be fine. Blinks in, kills off the medevac.
And in fact, this is even worse for the Terran here. Killing 6 probes is pretty good, but when you're this down as Terran, to lose a medevac and all the units inside of it, Protoss on 3 Nexuses can remake those probes extremely quickly.
Very true. Little force coming out here to get rid of the pylon for the Warpins.
This has actually been a really exciting game to watch. I mean, Maru was completely dunking on Hurricane, and then Hurricane took, I think, the only opportunity he really had, and with such precise control came in and actually denied Maru his natural and is in the lead here. But Maru is a player, if the game goes on for a long time, who's capable of coming back here, I think. But I do think Hurricane is basically setting up a position. There's a little bit of a vulnerability down here at the bottom. He can have his disruptors chuck shots into the worker line.
Yeah, and we saw in that picture-in-picture this up there, the Zealot drop into the main base, getting a little bit of harassment as well. The Speed Prism gonna make it out of there. Dude,
So,
I tell you, I am impressed because so many things went poorly for Hurricane. So many of his plans were destroyed, and then he gets into the ultimate comeback unit, the Disruptor.
Yeah.
The only thing that can come back harder than Disruptor is 2 Disruptors, right? So he's done a fantastic job. Look at the damage he's put out there. 29 probes have been killed by these Disruptors so far.
And right now, there's not a ton that Terran can do other than sit back and try to rebuild.
Yeah.
I think Hurricane's done a very effective job of jabbing at Maru in this process and taking the attacks that he can take. But I think as time passes, it's going to be harder to get in there and do much more damage to Maru. So we want to watch for Maru taking a 3rd base and see if Hurricane can stop that or try to out-expand him, or both. And that moment's going to happen right now.
All right, Maru pushing out with these tanks, going to spread them up a little bit while he takes this third. I mean, yeah, with the tanks, with a Raven in here, I think he can hold this.
Okay, he needs to have infantry actually covering this, though. All right, losing two tanks like that is pretty bad for Maru here.
Yeah, oh, he's shredding.
No.
Maru is, like, in really a tough spot here.
Yeah.
Throws the auto turrets down, and I think he's dead. We actually seen the picture-in-picture Zealots in his main base as well.
Yeah.
He's diving as hard as you could ever dive there.
Yeah, huge beating here inside the main.
That's crazy.
One of the best comebacks, honestly, we've had in a while.
One of the most sudden comebacks I've ever seen.
Yeah, it actually happened so fast. It's really jaw-dropping. I mean, it was the Adepts and the Disruptors getting the hits, and then Maru suddenly realizing how brittle his defenses really were. I think he was prepared for anything, with the exception of a Disruptor shot into the natural.
Yeah, it's funny because if he had just like a little bit different defense, right? Like maybe the tanks are spread, like maybe they're further back, maybe they're spread a bit more. Maybe he has an additional depot so that the Adepts can't shade on top of that tank and draw some splash damage.
I think all of those things.
Yeah, it's like a bunch of little tiny things, and his giant lead wouldn't have been smashed like that. But here we are with Hurricane now getting ready to take a fourth base. Can Maru actually, like, how would you fight back against this? No, okay,
you'd leave the game and
that's what I was kind of thinking, because I'm like, I was actually surprised he's still in the game at this point because it's so, the position is so bad.
I think basically Maru was looking for an opportunity in some fight, the same way that Hurricane found one against him, where maybe he can actually gun down a War Prism or find isolated Colossi to kill off, something like that. It didn't happen, though. Hurricane played a really clean game. And I'll tell you what, bounced back like we have never seen. Lost the Nexus, lost the Pylon on the proxy.
Lost multiple Stalkers to a few Marines.
Did a Hail Mary play into Disruptor, hoping to find something, found exactly what he needed, and then carried the game into a lead in one. And that makes us tied up 1-1. I'm still worried for Hurricane here.
Yeah.
But Maru's showing that even when he takes an incredible lead, there is a way out.
Sure.
If you're able to figure out how to do that. We're going to go to map 3 now on Romanticide.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world. Seize the stakes. They're living a life like dead bodies.
Hurricane. Team NV, Maru.
So that's very cute.
I like it.
The reason why the barracks is put back there is if a probe is to scout, when you don't see the barracks close to the entrance, the instant thought in your head is that it is somewhere on the map. And we'll see how exactly he scouts here, but keep in mind there was a proxy in the last game, right?
Yeah.
So
he primed him for this.
Exactly. There's a couple. This is why Maru is so good at a best of 5 or best of 7, is he can take ideas. And it's not like Maru hasn't proxied multiple games in a row either. So, he's taking his entire history and putting it to his advantage.
Oh yeah, hiding both buildings behind.
Yeah, and
this could freak you out.
Yeah, he may whip around here and start checking. Okay, so he sees nothing. That should spot it, right?
There's a Marine in there, so he knows.
Yeah,
exactly.
he knows. All right, but I think a cool idea anyways.
Yeah.
It doesn't slow the Terran down, really. It is inconvenient having to lift the barracks up and put it into the front unless you're going to keep your production back there all game.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, he might.
See.
He might.
There's a few different ways I guess it could go, but they fly pretty quick. But the thing is, every now and then there's like a certain percentage of the time that a play like this will force the Protoss to get way off their build order. They'll panic and stuff, and you know, maybe they instantly make a shield battery at the natural or add a second gate, or, you know, just...
It can look like it shouldn't be a big deal, but when you realize how fast you have to be playing and reacting, especially if you think you're getting proxied, it can completely cause the other player to set up some buildings and shoot him into a trajectory that's not really ideal for pretty ordinary play here from Maru, right? Whether that be making units or tech or defense or canceling something. I mean, there's a lot. So it's a cool idea. It's funny to think of it as a tactic because it's one where you don't actually have to do anything other than make buildings, but it can make them respond in a panicked way.
Yeah.
Cool idea.
Well, it just kind of shows another level of the depth of StarCraft, right? Where you can literally scare people in this game.
Yeah.
You can trick them and scare them and make them make mistakes through that.
It's also something that only works against a good player.
Yes.
A bad player, you know, isn't going to be thinking fast enough or, you know, have the routing in their brain to identify a solution to a possible problem that quickly. And instead, here come 4 Hellions.
Oh, man. Oh, well, good thing he has a Phoenix here.
Yeah, picking up the weak one, though. And picking up the second Hellion. And actually, this is a pretty big win right now.
Yeah, he's dealt with this very, very well, I would say.
Yeah, I think, can he pick that up one more time? I guess
he doesn't
not.
have the energy.
But 3 probe kills
That's actually...
is laughable.
That was really well defended by Hurricane.
Yeah.
That was night and day compared to the Hellion drop that hit his main.
Oh, for sure.
It was like the worst defense I've ever seen, and then that was as good as you can get on defense, honestly.
Well, I do wonder, too, if there's been a big confidence boost here with Hurricane. Just winning that last game.
Well, dude,
that's
when he
got
lost
to be
his
like
Nexus
one of the
and
most.
then the Pylon,
Yeah.
he's definitely thinking that he's dead.
Yeah.
Come back like that against Maru, that just doesn't like, remember our old saying about Maru? It's like when you're like behind, you're even. When you're even, you're behind. And when you're ahead, you're even.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, no, Maru's just like, what do we call it? The 4th race or whatever. It's just like, he's different, man.
Well, I think to come back in a game like that against specifically Maru, but the way the game looked really shows how formidable Hurricane is. And I don't know. I mean, I think he'd probably be feeling pretty good, pretty confident because he handled that attack pretty well. I don't normally like chalking up psychology alone to play, but I do think you see a game like that, and you got to feel good.
You do have to feel good, and don't worry, Tasis, we're not going to call you on being a psychologist for saying that he feels good winning a game that we were sure he was going to lose, and we were right to be sure he was going to lose.
Yeah, but I think that morale boost, though, I think he could play well still.
Yeah.
So Phoenixes are going to come out here with the Oracle.
Colossus on the way.
But
that's
Maru's
a funny
got,
push out.
Yeah, this is an unusual set of units.
Oh, man. Actually,
2 Vikings, 2
Cyclones.
Why was it called Colossi? And then Marines.
Yeah, it's a really funny unit set. This actually really reminds me of a push that TY invented back in the Abyssal Reef era, where people were doing Phoenix openers, and then TY made like this little Viking Cyclone Marine push that was killing 3rd bases that were taken too quickly. Now, Hurricane didn't take his 3rd, so this push I don't think is too likely to do much.
It has no ability to sustain.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no healing here. There's nothing to repair either. Does this actually work? Let's find out. I feel like this shouldn't work at all.
No, I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I think it's a move like this can be really
kind of odd targeting there, to be honest with you.
Yeah, the Immortal
I think it was more important to kill off the Marines on the ground and then kill what lands.
Okay, lifts that up. Okay, so, well, here's my take on that, right? Like, if you played slightly more greedily here, like, if you have a 3rd Nexus there, I think that this can be an amazing attack.
I think
But because he sat on 2 base that whole time and made that Immortal, the Immortal actually saved the battle for him, because it was actually starting to swing tomorrow.
Yeah, I think that, honestly, had we had a greedy 3rd base, Maru would have completely trashed him, but not the case at all. It did seem like a blind play, by the way. Like, I don't think he scouted anything that would have told him that was worthwhile to do.
The Hellions saw the Phoenix play, right?
But I think that what might have happened is the Hellions did nothing, and maybe a good Protoss player could take that victory and say, let's take a 3rd base now, right?
I think that's right, yeah.
And so then Maru says, okay, so I'm going to do this kind of weird, unusual unit set to actually punish that because I'm behind and you think you can get ahead because you think I'm going to play normally and I'm not, and that's how in your head I am. But Hurricane was just powering.
I think you're 100% correct on that. That is exactly what I think happened there. So we're going to go ahead and take that as the gospel truth. And so Maru gets punished by Hurricane actually playing a slightly slower, slightly safer game. Doesn't take that edge that he probably could have taken, only losing 3 probes, right?
Yeah.
It's like, well, damn, that's 4 Hellions gone for nothing. Okay, let's go. Instead, here he is, and he's like, right now you see Maru has a bit more army supply, but that's not that much more. He's actually relying on this mine drop to do something, because his main army doesn't beat the army that we have of Hurricane, but he might be able to do something sneaky with the mines, either carpet bomb them onto the army or just fly them in. Yeah, here it goes. It actually flies into the main base.
Okay, the 2 other mines are coming up. There is an attack ready to be sprung over here on the 3 o'clock base.
Yeah, it can't really do too much.
Whoa! Yeah, this is not going to work against that.
No. The Immortal there is really screwing up the math, I think.
Yeah, even though Protoss is running, there's no way that that's going to last. A couple of Colossi shots, and I do want to point out that supply is continuing to spike up here for Maru. This is always a feature of Maru's games, is regardless of fights won or lost, he starts to pedal ahead here.
Yeah.
And just get bigger, so.
But it's like when you're playing this type of very technical Protoss army, it's kind of normal for them to peak up in supply above you for a little bit because you're spending so much money. You already bought Phoenixes, you're getting all sorts of upgrades, you're getting Colossi out. So as long as he sits back in a very defensive formation here with his shield batteries and just kind of micros well, I don't know that Maru's going to break him. We'll see. He does have 4 medevacs.
This is high risk with these Phoenixes out here, but I think Maru is going to go for it. He's going to...
Oh, the Phoenixes go over his army tasteless. That was a good pickoff, but that means the drops
get even better, though. Yeah. Now, there's a lot of infrastructure here. It's a very inconvenient angle for the Protoss to try to take a fight. Takes out the upgrade. I'm sorry, was he getting... He has Thermal Lance, right? So...
I think he was actually getting it.
Okay.
But, look, he actually runs into the natural as well here. That is a huge push in the natural.
Yeah, he's just trying to find the soft spot, and he may have hit it here. There's still a big attack over here in the main as well. Now, there are still Widow Mines actually over there. There's still fights happening down here. There's been 14 probes killed overall as the Phoenixes are chased away.
Oof.
And this is classic Maru, is just hitting enough locations, throwing enough things out there and seeing what sticks. And I mean, there's going to be more kills on these probes, 22 probes. And behind this, Maru grows. GG.
Yeah. Wow. So well done from Maru.
This is the problem with fighting specifically Maru. For all the crazy things that can happen early on, he does appear to just build and grow faster than anybody else.
Yeah. He macros up quicker than everyone, and his multitasking really great. Look, he scanned and actually saw the Phoenixes flying to the north, and then it got confirmed when they came out to kill the Raven.
Right.
But that was a time, like what were we talking about? This is the normal point where Terran starts to mass up above Protoss. You have to really lock everything down, and he was a bit too far forward with his Phoenixes. He was out of position. If those are sitting trying to block drops, this game is still going on.
Short break, guys. We'll be right back.
You walk like a queen, you rule my mind. Nothing more to feel with you. can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. Through the silence. Through the silence. I can hear your voice. I can hear you through the silence. I can hear your
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와, 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
아이시스 에코. 오늘 내룩에 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코. 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거. 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스감. 환도 역시 가스감이 대세.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Quarterfinals. Hurricane, Maru, Innovation, Trap, GSL Season 1, Code S, Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, Live, LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6, 2021, GSL Season 1.
All right, we have had some crazy games actually already between Hurricane and Maru. Right now, Maru does lead 2-1, and I would say like overall his play looks very strong, very impressive as it generally does. But that one comeback game from Hurricane really great, and in fact, it felt like he did well in game 3 there. Also, like he shut down the first 4 Hellions very well. He shut down the follow-up attack by playing a bit more defensively, making an immortal before his 3rd base. That was super good for him. I think that Maru's play was very smart to even do that attack. I think you analyzed it correctly. Tasteless said he was going to try to kill a third after he lost the Hellions, which wasn't there. But then he just let some drops in that just dismantled him, and Maru just went to town with his multitasking.
It's the thing that we see Maru win with the most is honestly he's just mechanically superior to pretty much everybody else in the world. I mean, as many stories as there were about the fights, the tactics, the build orders, in the end it was about Maru just outproducing and then hitting in so many locations there was no way that Hurricane could keep up. We're going to go to map 4 on Oxide. Let's do this.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life untamed by gentle.
Hurricane. Team NV, Maru.
So looking back on that, well, actually back on all 3 games, I mean, really that Hurricane win is remarkable, but I do worry just because any game that Maru isn't stopped or like judo flipped, so to speak, in what he's trying to do early on, it does seem like Maru just gets to that too big to fail size. Where he starts dropping too many locations. A couple of them don't work, but then when they start to really connect and the Colossi, it's not clear where they're supposed to be or if they're even going to be that well defended.
Yeah.
That's what's so truly punishing about Maru.
Yeah, failed drops actually don't even impact him that much. You have to remain bulletproof against him. Really, it really takes a monstrous Protoss to be able to take him down. Without, just kind of like cheesing him right off the bat. See if he can keep that up. Of course, it is match point for him. So close to that round of 4. Nice little eBay block there.
Yeah, this is to stop the Nexus. It's a little bit of a control build here. Protoss has to decide what to do with the excessive minerals, whether it's to bank up and ultimately expand it efficiently or to invest it somewhere else, which could be predictably countered here by the Terran.
Did you see that?
Yeah, that is like over 99% done.
Yeah.
99 point something.
What do you do? Add 1 hit point to it with
yeah,
that?
he like
also risked it dying?
Yeah, that was...
Listen,
that
Maru,
was so...
he needs to calm down.
It's funny because you look at it and you're like, it's probably not ever worth it to do that because it's so hard to do. But then when you pull it off, it's like, yeah, I guess that makes that last for a fraction of a second longer, maybe depending on what's attacking it. Which I guess, if it works out, it's always better. But
no, I don't think it actually even made it longer like that.
Yeah, it just.
I find that move pointless what he just did.
Oh my God!
Oh.
Whoa! I can't believe he missed that. Wait. Okay, no, wait.
Oh, wow. He finds it on the way back. All right, they're going to go ahead and kill the SCV, but just knowing that there's a gate there is so powerful. Okay, a couple of Hellions going out and going around as well. A couple more Hellions being made at home. Does have a block on his ramp, so seems as if he's expecting something like this.
So the no.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's not a StarCraft 1 probe. Can't block that ramp with that, my friend. Okay, so immediately these come in here. Now this is bad, but it's not the end of the world. 2 Hellions. Oh wow, he gets the 5 kills. Okay.
Yeah, that's
looked like
pretty sick.
Oh no.
Okay, he just canceled his tech and went into Robo instead.
All right, he's gonna go Disruptors again, try to close it out.
I would like it.
I'll figure this out. I'll figure out another way to win in Game 5. Right now, it's all about the present.
Yeah.
I think he actually is gonna go Disruptors.
You might be right.
Yeah.
Maybe he does the same thing. That was sick, though, the amount of damage you got with those 2 Hellions. That was really big.
It's like Game 5 is a problem for future Hurricane, and fuck that guy. This is all about this game right now.
Yeah. Maybe that's the whole trick for Hurricane, is he needs to get behind.
Can he get the SCV? Doesn't get the SCV in time to deny the bunker from finishing. Now, these 2 Hellions, Oh, and these 3 Widow Mines are going to see the Robotech.
Ooh.
Yeah, the problem is he doesn't want these Hellions running up the ramp.
Yep.
Hey, where's that? Oh, it's there. Okay, I couldn't find the medevac
no.
on our minimap for a second.
Oh, no.
Oh. Hey. Okay, can he get away?
He's
come
counter
behind
pressure
here.
here. I'm kind of like holding my breath watching this right now.
Our observer can barely keep up with this. This is the Protoss can end up getting stuck back here.
Yeah, and we see it looks like he's starting to clear out the mine drop at home. 7 probes dying, 3 SCVs thus far. Yeah, the counter pressure is pretty decent here, to be honest. Oh, that was awesome. That was a sick move. Shading on top of the mine and giving that splash damage to the SCVs.
So now it's just these 3 Stalkers back here. I think it's going to be 2 as 1 is picked off from the bunker.
How much damage are these 2 going to do to each other?
I don't know. This is a real slugfest, man. He is going to eventually chase these Stalkers away. That attack's going to be running out of gas. And I don't think there's any more Widow Mines underground or in medevacs on the southern half of the map.
Yeah, I think you're right. But there is a Banshee out now, so we got to go kill more probes. That's for sure.
Medevac coming down now towards the natural, really forcing the Protoss to, stay back and defend. Keep in mind, Blink isn't done here, so you don't have that mobility threat that you normally have with Stalkers.
But he is maybe going into Disruptor Tech Teslas.
I
There's
think
the Prism.
so, but we're in a very different game post that drop and post the Protoss push behind the minerals. I mean, that was everything has changed now. It's 35 workers to 32. Protoss in a minor lead, but mules exist, so the math gets fuzzier there. Banshees now have come in here. This is 2 players on 2 bases continuing to hurl various harass techniques focused on workers. And another little victory here for Maru as he kills off 5 more probes.
Yeah, I like it for Maru. I like what he's doing. But the speed Prism Disruptors coming in. I'm very excited to see if Hurricane can make some magic with this again. Because, it is the ultimate comeback unit. You have that speed Prism, so you can just kind of keep them alive and appear in positions that are hard for your opponent to deal with. Maru's spread right here looks much better than it did in that 1 game he lost to this.
Okay, the Gateway's just going to come up now. First Disruptor's out. And I don't think this game can look like the one that Hurricane won. Terran's too developed.
Too developed, you say? But what if there are 2 Disruptors?
Still too developed.
What if there is a Prism with speed?
Still too developed. Terran can't lose to this, I don't think.
All right.
Terran's going to push out, though. I was talking about if he tries to break the entrance here. The push could actually be a bit different.
Okay.
But I still think Terran should have enough.
All right, he's picks off a little bit. Oh, he nailed a tank with that as well, so a very low tank. He's doing just slight harassment there with a single Adept, which is kind of funny.
Now, it's important to note Protoss doesn't have a 3rd base. So, I mean, this usually means you can actually kind of fight here. Good avoidance of the Disruptor shot.
You see that Prism fly over and then realize, oh, wait, no, I can't really. I can't drop it right here. That's not going to work.
The problem is that there's not enough medevacs for Terran to actually leave without losing units here. But he kills off that first Disruptor.
Yeah, but it did get a hit, so a couple Marines die. A tank goes into the red. It seems like he forces Maru back for now.
We need the... Oh,
Maru didn't expect 3 Stalkers to be there. He thought his attack would be enough, respected enough.
Okay. He's going to keep pushing here. Now, I think what he probably wants to do is wait for the Disruptor to come out, then disable the Warp Prism.
Yeah, you could
just
chase
that down. And
you can disable the Disruptor as well if you can't kill it in time, and that'll turn off the...
Yeah, that's another way to do it.
The Nova.
So the Warp Prism is just staying out of range. Maru pretty patient here. Gets clipped there on the corner of his army. Whoa.
Oh, that's a big pickoff right there. The Raven goes down. All right, stim and spread here from Maru as he sieges up, and Hurricane just pulls back. I think Hurricane's doing a masterful job here of slowing this down.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Now, below this army is an expansion that's about to finish up, so really it's important that Terran breaks this, and if you're the Protoss, you have to stop this immediately here. Maru's still committed on just 2 bases. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Well, I mean, I guess he did
Was that
some
a Colossus
damage.
in there?
That was a Colossus.
Okay. I guess you could put a Colossus literally on top of that, so it's a lot of splash damage there, but
I guess.
weird.
Gets 1 Marine there. He's going to lose this Nexus. I think he just has to give it up. 5 tanks, 6 tanks. That's too many tanks.
Yeah, it's a
no tanks.
It's a situation where you can basically.
I said no tanks, like no thanks, tasteless.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, yeah,
you didn't laugh, so I knew you didn't understand.
Yeah, well, I didn't think it was that funny, to be honest with you, but like,
it's okay if you didn't understand, tasteless. You don't have to pretend it wasn't
my
funny.
sense of humor is not sophisticated enough to pick that up. GG, Maru wins.
All
yeah,
right.
with that many tanks,
yeah,
you could just leapfrog him forward.
No, it was a very, very strong push. I liked the idea that Hurricane was coming back with again. But, yeah, you're right. Maru was quite developed there. And does end up moving on to the round of 4.
Impressive stuff from Maru. I mean, Hurricane, I think, did an okay job, but Maru knows exactly what kind of comp he wants. He knows how to push. The one game he lost was probably one of the greatest games Hurricane's ever played.
That was an insane
To be
comeback,
honest, it was my favorite game of the entire series. But
for sure.
I think in reality, it's very clear as the dust settles here and we wrap this best of 5 up, Maru clearly is the player who should advance, and he does. And that means you only have 1 more spot here in the round of 4. After this interview and a commercial break, we'll be going to that.
And Maru of Team MV takes the match 3-1. And he moves on to the round of 4. Congratulations. Thank you. In Romanticide, you showed phenomenal multitasking skills. And in Oxide, you showed great rushing skills. So how do you feel about the victory? Well, today I think I played pretty bad. So I'm slightly worried, but I'm glad I advanced. So in what aspects were you failing at? I made some trivial mistakes in the match. So I thought I would be in a pinch, but I'm glad I advanced. I guess you're having those thoughts because you lost the second game. But in the last set, you didn't get obliterated by the disruptors. So it felt like you were quite surprised in the second game.
제가 마당이 너무 느리길래 토스 마당이 그래서
Well,
멀티를 찾고 있었는데
because the Protoss was very slow at expanding, I'm looking for his outer buildings. And then, you know, when I found it out, I was really surprised. But apart from the second game, you showed phenomenal performance in the other 3 games. And now you're in the round of 4. Your G5L title seems very close to you. And in the other side of the bracket, Rogue pulled a reverse sweep, and he made it to round of 4 as well. So what are your opinions on the other side of the bracket?
저는 병렬이 형이 무난하게 이길 것 같아요.
Well, it feels like Rogue is going to have an easy win, and he's going to move on to the finals to play against me. So are you saying that Dream's not a strong opponent? I mean, we had this talk when we were drinking outside. And you know, Rogue and Dream both said they were confident, but you know, in the end, Rogue was the winner.
끝장전 하자고 얘기가 나와가지고 실제로 스타트로 끝장전을 했는데.
You know, Rogue and Dream actually had like the had actually fearsome match, and it was Rogue who came out on top. So Maru, your next opponent will be either Innovation or Trap, which will be decided later today. And they have a pretty neck-and-neck record, so who do you think is going to win? Well, whoever comes up to the round of 4, it's going to be really hard for me.
같은 팀원이었던 성호 형이 이겼습니다.
But I'm still going to root for Trap, who was in the same team as me. Okay. And you're just one step away from achieving your G5L title. So anything you want to say before you go? Well, my performance hasn't been satisfactory today. In the round of 4, I'm going to try to prepare really hard and try to deliver a better performance. Once again, congratulations, Maru. Thank you.
네, 이렇게 2연속 4강 진출에 성공한 조성우
All right, well,
선수
Maru
만나봤고요. 계속해서
advances,
GSL 이벤트
not surprisingly,
안내해드립니다.
in an impressive fashion. Very pro-gamer moment to say that he was not impressed with his performance today.
That's very Maru.
It's
Even on
very,
his
yeah.
best games, like, I don't know, I was playing 40%.
Yeah, I give myself a D at best.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
All right.
So he moves on to the round of 4.
That would be
and
insane if he wins his 5th.
He could do it, man.
Yeah. You look at who's left.
We've had
he can totally
that
win.
special trophy for a long time, so we might actually be able to give it out this time. 10-minute break, guys. We'll be right back.
Waiting on a hurricane to pass me by. This natural pattern is like a rip current pulling me back in. Something I can't escape. A wave that never breaks. A million different voices, so many different sounds. The weight
My soul is blooming.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와! 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
아이시스 에코, 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코, 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와! 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
아이시스 에코, 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코, 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Look where we are. We've made it far.
Quarterfinals. Hurricane, Maru, Innovation, Trap, GSL Season 1, Code S. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6, 2021, GSL Season 1.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the second half of day 2 of the round of 8. We've got one more slot to fill in here for the final 4. So far, we've got Dream versus Rogue, and then Maru versus the winner of Innovation versus Trap. And I think this is going to be the closest and maybe the best match out of the entire round of 8. Let's do an interview first, though.
Another fantastic TVP waits us, and it's going to be a match between a really strong Terran player and a phenomenal Cross player as well. And these two players have met 4 times already, and this is their 5th time. So we're going to meet Trap of Africa Freaks and Innovation of Kaiser Gaming. So Innovation, you made it to your 4th consecutive round of 8 after getting through the group of deaths. So how do you feel playing against Trap? Well, I did root for Armani to advance, but it was Trap, so I'm slightly disappointed. So I did kind of anticipate a Protoss to make it here. So Trap mentioned in his interview before that Terrans were always very silent and strong. So do you agree with the statement? Well, I didn't know Trap had that perception of Terran players. I think I'm going to have to teach him a lesson today. Alright, let's meet Trap now. So Trap has already made it to a round of 8 4 times. And every time he played against Innovation, it was a full set. And Trap was actually very happy that Innovation made it here. So, how do you feel today, Trap? I mean, I did lose to him once. But when I play against Innovation, I always had good memories of winning. So I think that's why I said that. So you have made it to your 7th consecutive round of 8. Is today your chance to defeat Innovation? Yes, I think it is. Alright, let's talk about the Disruptor today. That's the key word today. So Trap is the best player to use the Disruptor, and Innovation is the worst player at avoiding the Disruptor shots. So Innovation, did you have some practice beforehand? Well, I didn't really practice. But if it's Trap, I think I might be able to avoid his shots. So Trap, I want to ask you a question. Today, are you going to use a lot of Disruptors? Yes. You know, I saw Innovation dealing with the Disruptors, and I've never smiled so much in my life. And he actually made it. So, you know, I'm going to give him some entertainment today. And let's see how the game turns out today. So before we go into the match, anything you want to say, Trap? I mean, I see him frequently, and I always play against him. So today, I don't care if it goes to full set. I just hope I win. The Innovation, what about you? I'm just gonna beat him 3-0 and go home. Oh wow, provocation from Innovation. And these two players have always made it to the full set in a best of 5 or best of 7. And let's see how this match unfolds between the two players.
Here's a question for you, Tasteless.
Please.
Is Maru more better at Terran than Innovation compared to how much better Innovation is at interviews than Maru?
That's a tough one.
Yeah, no, that's...
I mean, they're truly in the GSL finals of the greatest interviews we've ever had. You know?
How about this one? Would you rather fight 3 Maru-sized innovations or one innovation-sized Maru?
I think the Maru-sized innovations.
Yeah?
I think.
Okay.
Am I right? What I want to do is make a show where Maru and Innovation are interviewing each other and just see where that goes.
Yeah. You know, MST
60-minute
3K.
styles.
Imagine them on that, man. That would be amazing.
Oh, yeah. Well, they might look close enough to the little robots to make that work. So, we're going to be hopping into this best of 5, and I think this is going to be the best of the round of 8. I think we're going to be ending on a high note. I think it's tough to call who's going to win. You know, Innovation doesn't consistently beat all other players, but is overall more consistent than pretty much anybody in StarCraft 2 history.
Yep.
And on the other side is Trap, who is really innovating and reinventing Protoss. He has a very unique approach that I think he's honed and mastered over time. And I think Trap's going to be causing a lot of trouble for Innovation. I do think Innovation does lean a little bit too far into the realm of predictability.
Sometimes.
Where I think Trap can be a little bit hard to nail down. Would you agree with that?
I think that it's oversold that Innovation is predictable. He does mix in some, but he is a bit predictable for sure, right?
Yeah, we'll see
we
that
generally know what he's going to open with for most of his games, but he'll mix up just enough. I think that he's dangerous still. For Trap, yeah, he generally brings a pretty good range, but tends more towards the macro games.
Yeah, Trap, I think, has got a bit of a wider range, but it's going to be interesting. I mean, Innovation could end up overpowering Trap in the middle here. We're going to find out. Actually, our game is loaded up faster than I was ready. I had more to say, but we're going to go on Oxide. Let's go.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. We're living a life like dead by
Well,
See, tasteless?
wow, how embarrassing.
So, yeah, he's opening with the cheese, which I think is cool because he generally doesn't. But yeah,
get wrecked.
Are you kidding me?
That probe's me trying just
Innovation.
interrupting your casting right there. Like,
Yeah.
nope.
God, you see the look on his face?
Yeah, probe's like, tag your edge, runs away.
Yeah. He's like, well, I know it's out there, so you're not going to make it now.
Probe gave him cooties and then ran for it.
Yeah, I guess at this point you're like, you want to make the eBay, but he'll send another probe down to stop that from occurring. Yeah, so anyways, what I was going to say is during the interview, like Innovation said, I'll 3-0 him and go home, which is a kind of a cool thing for him to say. But honestly, I think if there's a 3-0, it'll be Trap doing the 3-0, man. Like, I do feel like Trap is favored here. I think it can be a close series, but it's hard for me to get my head around Innovation stomping Trap.
Actually, I really like what you said there because I think that is so true. I can see Innovation winning, but I think that's a 3-2 victory.
Yeah, I think it's a
back
3-2.
and forth games. Trap gets the best of him 1 or 2 times, but Innovation overall powers through.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, if Trap does win, it's going to be 3-2, 3-1, or possibly even 3-0.
Yeah,
is more realistic.
There's a much bigger range where Trap comes out on top, I think.
The Trap is in the funny position of having to go against another Terran in the round of 4.
Yeah.
And so that's always a bit of a burden when you have 2 of the very best Terrans in the entire world in your bracket, because that's a lot of games you have to get out. And really, when you become a champion, especially in a game like StarCraft 2, in a tournament format like GSL, which is, you know, a star league format, in other words, it takes weeks and months to finish, research becomes a factor in a way that it just isn't if you have one of these marathon, 2-day, 3-day, 5-day tournaments at a special location somewhere around the globe where everybody's there, right? That's more of this battle royale, a matter of stamina. Do you have a good grasp on every map, every matchup at that time? Here, it's a much more methodical tournament, and so I'm sure we're going to see the very best that Trap has, but he's going to also, if he advances here, going to have another terrifying Terran opponent just ahead in the bracket.
Well, I think regardless of that, you're going to show your absolute best stuff here and then just worry about it next week. Let future Trap figure it out.
I think you can't possibly save stuff for Maru.
Yeah.
With the condition that Innovation's in, I think you have to basically prep hard, be in great condition the day of, like as in today, and then see where. Oh my!
Was...
I actually thought it got in for a second.
That was so close. And he saw it switching, so he actually switched it back. Isn't that interesting?
That's cute, but he's going to shade in once more. Busted. That's where he cancels the Marines and brings them up.
Oh, good micro from Innovation. You see this? You know, people have been teasing him in these interviews as well, saying like, oh yeah, he's not one of the top Terrans anymore, you know. I mean, Innovation has been considered top 4 Terran in the world basically for
forever.
Almost his entire career, which is now like 8 years long. 8? Yeah, I think 8 years long now. He's basically been one of the top Terrans in the world, yeah. It's a very long time.
I mean, we're in year 11 here of StarCraft 2.
Yeah, he hadn't, yeah, you got to remember like 2012 was parting winning the World Championship. Innovation, I feel like, wasn't quite. That's like right around the time Kessel was switching over, right? So it took him just a little bit after that he started dominating. But yeah, it's a super long amount of time. But the thing is, even though some players have been trash talking him, here he is, round of 8. You know?
Yeah.
And like.
And against one of the hardest players in the tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Protosses here are really waiting to see what exactly Trap's going to do. He's sort of the Protoss player. You know, students of Protoss study now.
Very, very true. It's, you know, him and Stats for the most part are the ones you study.
And I think Stats has been more wildly inconsistent. Oh my gosh, he gets in. So just going to let one Adept come in, try to kill some workers. See what.
You've got some good intel there as well. You know, sees what's going on. 3CC and everything.
Blink is done. Templar Archives is coming. We do have some Stalkers out on the map, but yeah, we're going to have to wait here. Terran is not going to take a third just yet. There's going to be some build-up now as the macro engine is going to be kicking in here for the Terran side and kicking in shortly for the Protoss. Another, well, that's funny. He's like, well, I don't actually want to unshade there.
That was the dog that caught the car.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It's like, oh, it is down.
Oh,
that was a very cute
Yeah,
move.
I really like that. Just comes in and snipes the one tank and then leaves.
Yeah. I think
totally worth it.
Yeah, that was a reasonable play for sure.
Great little tactic there by Trap. And so 5 more gateways are coming as we're going to have an explosion of production available here for Trap.
Yeah, getting that storm so quickly. This is something we've seen like a little bit lately. Kind of, I feel like it's an older style, but brought into a more modern time right now, right? Like, it's been very trendy to go Colossus for quite some time now.
Yeah.
But some of these quicker storm builds have been doing very, very well because your opponent is kind of like not ready for storm this early into the game. And if you don't have ghosts when this comes, if they have like 4 High Templars with storms and they attack your third base and you don't have ghosts right then and you're not like ready for the High Templars, you literally can just die to that.
Oh, yeah.
And look, he's making a Prism. He has 4 High Templars. Yeah, this is going to be a scary attack by Trap. It is. There's a lot of potential here.
Oh, well, especially if Terran's attacking out.
Yeah.
I mean, this is literally
You'll
the
never
dream.
die to this. In fact, the fact that he moved out is so worthwhile, so useful, because he saw that it's High Templars and he just turns around because it's like, oh no, I'm going to get shredded.
He actually has to scramble back home and get somewhere safe. Now, placement is extremely important against Psystorm because of the way the AI, I should say, not the UI, is set up. Things on the ground tend to bunch together, which means that if you're not paying attention, one storm can hit, you know, half your army.
Yeah.
Causing you to possibly lose an entire fight outright there.
We have a little poke coming in from Innovation. He does have a medevac going, or a couple going towards the main base. Oh, it's actually 3. Yeah, and there's a Zealot down in the Terran main as well. Look at this. This is kind of like big harassment on both sides. Bigger from Terran, though. Getting in here, takes down the overcharged shield battery immediately. In the meantime, those Zealots are doing some damage to those SCVs.
Yeah, and this angle actually is pretty awkward for the Stalkers to get close to this. If you look, especially in the upper right, everything's bottlenecked and stuck there. And that's going to allow at least 2 of the 3 medevacs to get away.
Dude, that was much better for Innovation, I would say. Oh, we're not done, though. Losing only 1 medevac and getting most of that out, killing 15 probes, pretty amazing.
Yeah, he's actually pushed that into the corner now. And I would say overall not bad here for Innovation. I mean, his growth is looking very strong. He did do a great amount of damage there in the main. I think the SimCity of the main for Trap was a little bit questionable. Doesn't seem like he can go back there and save that with ease. He did have a Templar, I think, probably for a feedback. Whoa.
Wow, that was smashed.
Oh, well, that is huge. Trap just completely obliterated a lot of supply there.
And that's actually a very important moment. Okay, he just started the Ghost Academy. Because I was going to say, during all that, I really expected a Ghost Academy to come up, because if you skip that, then basically what you're saying is, oh, we're just going hard on multitasking. We're spreading everywhere, and we're trying to grind down our opponent. Because you can't fight heads up. Like, look, the Storms just walk up, and you click on the army, and it takes tons of damage,
I think
right?
you could actually just kill him here, or at least kill this base. I don't see a whole lot over here to...
If his High Templars would actually come up.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing
I was
in the
actually
back.
trying to find them on the screen for a second there, but even without the High Templars, frankly, this is enough. I mean, he could keep warping in.
Yeah.
I think that he probably isn't going to lose that much in the counterattack back at home.
Well, I mean, he's getting into the natural. The probes run away there. A ton of damage is certainly being done here. And, but Innovation has a big army in the main base of Trap. I actually kind of want us to jump over to there. It's kind of where the real action's got. I mean, these depots, yeah, he's killing them, but he already killed the SCVs, so he doesn't really need those. And this is doing pretty massive damage as well. He takes down the Tasteless Pylon.
Will he get the Tosis Pylon? I don't. Oh, he will.
Yeah, look at that.
Ouch.
It's not so strong without Tasteless, is it?
But it does require a Tosis as well. Dude, honestly, I think that the damage is much, much worse here for Innovation. I think
you think that he took more damage?
I think Innovation is in a harder spot to recover from. I think the probes could be chronoed out pretty fast. The Pylon could be remade.
Yeah.
And I don't know if the Terran can reclaim the third without the army trampling it. For Protoss. The Protoss army trampling is what I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, I actually will respectfully disagree. I think Innovation has a better spot here. Because when you reduce the army size like this, Terran tends to be a little bit favored in that situation, and then also he has Ghosts out now.
But he has the Warp Prism, so it's harder to EMP.
Does he have the Warp Prism?
Oh! Oh, God.
Yeah, he does. But
yeah, that's what I mean. You can get a Storm off like that if you're fast enough. I mean, you can kind of preempt the EMP, right? But
yeah. But you know, with these smaller armies, it's a bit microable as well for the Terran player. He has a couple Ghosts in there still. Does get an EMP down. Has to back up from there. Can't fight there.
Okay. Side Storms connecting. Not bad there. I think this is too much of a tight entry point to actually come through.
Yeah, I think Innovation needs to back up.
Yeah.
Like, this was...
And here's where these Storms might even be more effective on the retreating army. Also, the Medevac's nearly drained here. Oh!
Oof. Yeah, a lot of damage to his army right there. Another Storm goes off. Another Storm goes off. So many Storms here. And Innovation going to lose everything.
Yeah, huge victory there. And GG, that's going to be a Trap takes game one. And I got to say, a very impressive fashion. I think Innovation put up a good fight, but...
I think Innovation's drops overall were very, very, very good.
Yeah.
I think that attack that he did at the end was not... It was not needed. He didn't... I don't think he actually needed to bring the game to a head right there. Like, it seems like you and Innovation both thought that Trap had that, because that seemed like a last-ditch attack, whereas... He actually had slightly more army supply. He had 4 Ghosts out. I felt like he could have maneuvered a little bit and tried to keep Trap busy while remassing.
I think after he saw the Warp Prism, he should have turned around and played defensive. He was trying to push through a pretty narrow area, and it's like Psystorm and then Stalkers, those 2 units alone.
And there's batteries there, so it's
it's actually easy. Like it's
that's the easiest place for Trap to hold, right there.
Yeah,
so that's
I think
exactly where you don't want to fight.
Yeah. We're going to go to Nautilus immediately now into Game 4. Right now, Trap with a 1-0 lead versus Innovation.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life undead by a candle.
So it didn't work the first time.
It'll work this time.
You watch one of these squares open up on the ground, and the probe comes out and grabs him.
He might actually just be going for the eBay block, you know? Well, actually, it's a 4-player map, so. Never mind.
No, I mean, we've done so many 1v1 maps. I probably would have ended up saying that if you hadn't, because I'm so used to
Well, he used cross spawn. I wasn't really paying attention.
Yeah,
and then he went through the middle. I'm like, wait a minute. I know this map.
No way, no way, no way.
Yeah, way tasteless.
It's me from game 1. I'm back.
Okay, well, he does have another SCV here, so I think he can hold this. I think he can get it finished.
Careful. Careful, Tosis. Look at this. This is very weird to watch with a worker chase. I don't feel like there's any actual micro trick you can take advantage of there, but I've never seen a probe attack an SCV in one of these sped
Look
up
at that. The second probe comes down. He loses the first
Oh
probe.
my god.
Oh.
He's hitting him with those minerals. It's like a rock. He's banging it over his head. Get back
It's a
here.
primitive tool for a primitive Protoss. All right, gets into the main. The Reaper is on the way. He's going to be fine because I think he'll probably. Is he going to make a zone?
He's going to kill him, man.
He's going to kill him?
I'm not done with you.
Get back here.
Help! Help! So, actually, we saw this already today. The bunker coming down now with the Reaper that will come across and be inserted into the bunker to stop the probes from mining.
Right. He actually, just chronoing out the Stalker, so he should end up losing 1 to 2 probes. It's pretty normal. Oh!
Whoa.
Ooh, got to be careful at that.
Stalker's going to come out. He can hop down here into safety, into the bunker.
Yeah, good micro overall, too.
Oh my god,
I guess he doesn't get any probes. Never mind. I like that position there on the high ground. Doesn't even have to worry about shield battery stuff. Can't target that SCV from up there, but it puts constant damage on that, so that's pretty decent. All right, second Reaper gonna go up, gonna go down.
Yeah, he can only do that. Well, he can't do it anymore, actually, with the second Stalker out here. But again, you can't do much with the extra workers. Really can't do anything with the extra workers when this bunker's here. And so this does interrupt the build order algorithm you're trying to follow, which is supposed to be the most efficient way to develop. And good micro here with this SCV, just having him duck into the bunker the moment a shot comes in.
I wonder how many people on the ladder lose their nexus to the 2 Reapers in the bunker.
You know it happens. StarCraft's a weird.
Happens for sure.
StarCraft's a weird game where, also it's hard to know what exactly super low-level games can look like.
Definitely, that's true.
All right, close up, nice.
I think that was a bit of a mistake. Yeah, he doesn't actually get
Dude,
it.
this is sick.
Hilarious.
This is awesome! I love the tactic.
That was such a good play.
Great move, wow.
Do you bring the Reapers back to save that? Isn't that worth more than the Reapers? Oh, it actually just runs. Okay. That's a sick mine.
There's been a lot of dramatic chase scenes in this game here.
There have been.
This is my favorite StarCraft thriller game. Okay, the Reapers are going to come back in. Scout the Robo, which is a nice thing to spot here. Getting an exact idea of what the tech's going to be.
Ooh,
does this work? Does that? That is insane, man.
Yeah, he slipped that out of there.
Does he have
Look at
more?
this, the probe is over the natural, so what is even going on here?
Yeah, this is such a different game than what we normally cast.
This is just like, I don't even know what to call this, but they're just hurting each other a little tiny bit over and over and over.
We're having so many dramatic, close fights early on.
Yeah, it's like siblings that just keep pinching each other. It's like, oh guys, you're just hurting each other a little bit. Like, why do you keep pinching each other?
Okay, so he's going to go for the third Nexus right away. Obviously, this is an extremely quick third Nexus. Is that where they make Thor's dad? What is that down there?
Yeah, that does look like a Thor that's being made.
Yeah.
This is
like
a Thor
bigger than a normal
construction
Thor,
plant?
though, right?
Imagine you could bring your medevac over and pick that thing up.
Oh, yeah. It's too heavy even in fetal position.
Yeah, what was
it's
the
the
name
size of the destructible rocks. It's like, wow.
What was the name of the Thor that Tychus drives? The Odin. That's the Odin tasteless being made.
Is it?
Yeah.
Remember when Tychus says it's about time and then the helmet closes while he has a cigar in his mouth?
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, he is going to drop that. It's going to hit his neck. He's going to be screaming,
There's gonna be ashes
slapping
on
the
his
helmet.
For sure. Look at this. Just non-stop. Like, it actually speaks to the level of the players. The tiny moves that you keep seeing. It's like, oh, now I got 2 more Marines, and over on the other side I got a probe, and just over and over and over.
So, whenever a Terran expands this quickly, it can be a vulnerability. I'm sorry, whenever your Protoss expands this quickly, it can be a vulnerability.
Yeah, if you hit very quickly, it could
So,
be.
remember that attack we saw earlier with Maru that looked weird? It was like 2 Cyclones, 2 Vikings.
Yeah.
Stuff like that can punish a third base. It's not the ideal unit set, but it's good enough against what Protoss would have had if they're too greedy. But I don't think we're going to see any kind of attack like that from Innovation. And this is kind of Innovation doing a mainline orthodox Terran build. Now, he's going to be pushing out. We're going to see how ready Trap is.
I think Trap has done the perfect thing to be okay against this push. He's going to have charge +1 armor, and that's his second immortal that's popping out, I do believe. So that's like just an amazing unit set for holding an early push. Yeah, look at that, 2 immortals. Oh, he's got the feedback. He wants the feedback so bad.
He wants the Raven.
Oh. Yeah, well, you got to
Goes
get
for
what
the
you can
medevac,
get.
yeah.
Okay, so with the Raven, let's see if he can make something happen here. Throws down an auto turret.
This is kind of an
actually
awkward spot for the Protoss with the batteries, the way they're set up.
Yeah, he picks them off immediately.
He has to decide if he's going to save this or not. I think he's going to sack the Nexus.
I think the auto turrets made this such a hard decision, and Trap actually didn't decide until it was too late.
Yeah.
But it turns out those auto turrets actually were killer right there.
Yeah, now there's no more auto turrets left. Protoss can keep producing. There's a 3rd immortal. Is this the moment to try to attack in? Gets the Observer.
Between the 2 mines and the 2 tanks, it is very tough. He brings a few Zealots for a flank, and he's definitely going to go. Oh, those aren't for a flank? Or do they go too far? Oh my god, a drop into the main base. So he needs to start clearing things out, whether it's that frontal push or it's, of course, you got to get rid of this drop right away.
Yeah, Trap seems to be a bit paralyzed as far as his decision-making goes. He drives the drop away, but of course Innovation gains a superior position closer to the natural. And if Trap loses this fight, he will lose this game, no doubt. But he's going to push forward here. 3 Immortals is nothing to disrespect from the Terran side, but that's it. Doesn't matter. Wow. Innovation takes it 1-1.
Very nice attack from Innovation. You saw Trap really try to get that feedback off on the Raven, and the Raven was crucial. It was the 3 auto turrets that really made that impossible to stop that push. They deal so much damage. They're going to basically use up all the Zealot charges on them, even though they have a limited lifespan, but he's killing them as the auto turrets are running out. The Nexus is going to die. So it was beautifully done by Innovation. One thing I should point out is the one player that always loves to get a High Templar to feedback Raven timing pushes is Stats. But he does that with Colossus builds, whereas here, Trap was trying to get into Psystorm once again, so was making Immortals. So that was his robo build time.
Yeah, that's a good point. No Colossi in there. Really, if the Colossi get disabled, that's it. But now we're tied up 1-1. Again, I'm happy to say this is looking like a close match. Hard to say who's truly going to take this. We're going to go to map number 3. That will be on Romanticide. Back onto a 1v1 map here in this best of 5 with Innovation versus Trap.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. We're living a life undead by gentle
Kai-Z Gaming. Innovation. Africa Freaks. Trap.
So this time around, I don't think we're going to have Trap try to sneak out an Expo quickly. I think in some sense you're playing into the strengths of Innovation, right? Yeah. Innovation, I mean, that wasn't some kind of crazy rush, that push. That push would have come if the third base was much later.
Yeah, he's gonna poke and prod for sure.
Innovation is among these Terran players of like, this is the right way to play the game, and like, this is the build you do, and like, it does punish anything that's too far out of the norm, right? And that's kind of, ooh, nice kill there. That was a surprise. That is exactly the kind of stuff Trap fell into, right? Is like, okay, I'm going to sneak out of third base. Well, that push is designed to basically probably beat somebody who's been too greedy, right? And so I think if Trap's going to win, it can't be with stuff like that. But I do get why he might want to try that on a map like that. You know, cross spawns. I know that the accelerators make it so it's even rushing distance, but still, you know, not all attacks are going to be necessarily coming through the center. And so,
well, you know, I think there were so many little scuffles at the beginning of the game as well.
True.
That maybe you feel like your opponent's going to be more on the back foot, but Innovation was scuffling with him. It wasn't a one-sided scuffle.
It was kind of crazy how many really close moments we had back there. We actually almost had the barracks not finish in the middle, too, when the second probe came down.
Yeah. That would have been the worst. Imagine that if he had to send a second or a third SCV out at that point.
Oh, yeah.
That would have been terrible. All right, gets that scouting probe. Does have a Stargate on the way. Looks like a Hellion drop to open here for Innovation. See if it's Phoenix or Oracle. I would imagine that it's going to be Phoenix. So I feel like Oracles nowadays are always made near your opponent's base in a proxy.
Yeah, that's true. There's not a lot of reasons to make it back at home, especially traveling all the way across the map, especially just, I mean, this isn't as trendy now, but people used to just hide Widow Mines in the middle of the map, and sometimes they just kill Oracles.
Dude, yeah. Kumio was the master of that.
Yeah.
He would have his mines, like, he knew exactly how far they could get before the Oracle would be there. He would have them almost mid-map.
Yeah, it was crazy.
It was insane.
That part of the meta is not really around anymore, but...
Yeah. You're right, it is not.
I basically think that, yeah, people, if they're going to go Oracle, it's better to proxy it. There's not a... I mean, you can lose a Stargate later on and be fine. It's not like you're teching into all Stargate units anyways, so...
So this is, oh, we have a tech lab as well. I think this is Bunny's build, Tasteless. Oh, I've been so ready for this for so long, but the Phoenixes could end up ruining it.
Yeah,
now,
well, the medevac is going to be killed no matter what. He's trying to bait it into the Widow Mines. It doesn't work. Total shutdown here from Trap.
Yeah, Innovation's face tells the story. This is not good news for him. Another medevac is being made, and okay, he gets one burrowed. He does have the armory, so that'll be invisible. I saw a tech lab mate, so I'm not sure. Like, we might end up seeing a Thor follow-up as well, like we saw from Bunny against Stats, which I would love to see.
They're going to get a little bit closer.
He gets another one down. That's really good.
Yeah, so now we have two Phoenixes that have been put to almost 1 HP, but he goes ahead and takes care of the rest of that. There's more Widow Mines. He's going to see that one burrowing. That's very important. Log that into his brain for later.
Yeah, another CC starts, so it doesn't look like it's... Oh my god, look at this. This is amazing.
Wow, okay, so big connects here on those two Adepts. They can still march through.
What was the tech lab for? Is he just going to get stim, I guess?
I'm not entirely sure.
I got so excited. I've been waiting for someone to do that build.
Thing is, I don't feel like Trap is going to have too much of a problem beating up Terran right now. Terran is just trying to finish the second command center on the ground.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But he's making so many mines right now.
Yeah, but I mean, look at the progress that Protoss has made now. He's picking off these mines. Let's watch this medevac that's going to come down here now, because that's where it's going to look more like a moment that Protoss could lose control. But I think that growth-wise, Trap is looking much stronger for sure.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's just I've seen Maru do this a lot, where the first like 6 mines don't do anything, then he finally gets 2 that do. and then he wins.
Happens a lot. So he's going to fake him out with this over here to actually bait these in. And it somehow this completely backfires. But let's see how this drop goes.
Yeah, let's see this one. Okay, he gets one burrowed. Yeah, I mean, it gets off, but... Okay, this is super duper not working so far.
Yeah.
But sometimes you just got to keep going.
I think the trap is getting so far ahead right now. Remember, guys, Widow Mines, if they kill a bunch of workers, it's great. If they're just getting picked off, or they're killing even just adepts, the Protoss growth rate is going to be so much higher.
Yeah.
So much higher right now. The third base is taken. Now, Innovation does have his natural up and running. He's landing mules there. But Protoss is going to have more muscle. Units that, don't just get picked off and killed. Units that sit there and fight.
Well, everything you're saying is true, but this is Adept Phoenix, so if something goes wrong, this is not really a composition that scales well. You kind of need to get some damage done. But of course, Innovation's kind of done damage to himself by trying to harass so much.
Okay, good pickups here right before the mines go off, at least most of them.
Yeah, some of them do end up going off, so I think Innovation ends up clearing this.
Yeah, the bunker's going to be too strong.
Enough mines did hit that the Adepts took some damage there for sure.
Yeah, this actually went extremely poorly here for the trap.
Yeah, that was not what he was looking for.
I'm not used to seeing a fight like that where it's Phoenix Adept over bunker mine, because you see the mines get picked up and it's like, oh, not bad.
Yeah, but still one hits, two hit. Everything's clumped.
But Adepts aren't going to kill a bunker.
No, they should.
So, I mean,
not without glaives.
Yeah, the SCVs are just repairing it. He can come through here with the few Phoenixes he has left and try to get kills there, but 6 gates are about to finish, a Robo as well.
Yeah, this is not looking super hot for Innovation.
Yeah, I mean, Trap isn't stuck on the tech that he had back there. He's going to be developing into a much more sophisticated army.
Yeah, he's going into Stalkers, which, that is not very common to go from Phoenix into Stalker, because they're both kind of softer units, right? You don't actually have a lot of DPS with these units. They are not tanky, right? As the game gets bigger, it's hard to make those units work out, and especially when they're together, because they actually fill a very similar role in a lot of ways. So I guess that's the one thing I'm looking at here that could make Innovation get some sort of comeback going.
Now, in the very, very, very north, the 12 o'clock spot, there is a pylon and a gate set up here. This is going to be an outpost where he can start to launch attacks onto the third. And, I mean, I think we're almost there. The Protoss is taking a fourth. This is either going to be he's going to reinforce from this position, or he's going to take a fight and then have a harass point here, warping Zealots with Charge. Charge still a ways away.
That comes up, and actually dices up that army really well with some force fields. The mine goes down and does get a decent hit overall. Comes
Picks
in with
up
the Phoenixes.
Tank. Oh, this is just absolutely smashing this army. Picking off the medevacs here as well, realizing he's already won the fight. Let's make sure I take out the units that are more important that can be plugged into a later army. And, I mean, from here, does he just walk up to the third and kill it?
Probably. He probably ends the game here, right?
I can't imagine there's anything else. Oh, okay, there's some, but probably not enough.
Not enough to defend the third.
Yeah.
So he's trying to lure him into the mines or something, but, I mean, that's not going to happen.
That's been the story of this whole game. And
yeah, it has. Comes in, picks up a couple Marauders, just pushing forward right now. The Mules even coming off the mineral line. Innovation frantically trying to hold.
Yeah, wow, even more Stalkers down there at the bottom. More Stalkers than there are Terran infantry. That should be game as Trap wraps it up. I mean, great just pacing of that. Even after the Adept attack didn't work, he just stayed back. I think a lot of this goes to the build that Innovation did early on.
Yeah.
And how not strong it was. This is sort of the difference between Innovation and a lot of the other great Terrans we have, is that he has tried to have a larger range of play, and he's brought that to the table, but he doesn't have the same success rate as he does when he does more of his macro, straightforward, textbook. The way Innovation plays is the way you teach one of your friends how to play Terran. Like,
Yeah.
watch what this guy does, because that's going to beat 90% of what you deal with. I'll have more to say about that after this break, guys. We'll be right back.
양념 툭툭, 올리브유 또르르. 우와. 그리고 제로. 너무 좋다. 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
야채 착착, 당토 톡톡, 아보카도 슥슥. 그리고 제로. 이렇게 맛있다고? 맛은 배로, 칼로리는 제로. 칠성사이다 제로.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터. 울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
관리받다. 관리하지 않는 순간에도 관리받다. 14일 동안 정성껏 발효한 브루잉 콤부차로 관리받다. 브루잉 콤부차.
아이시스 에코. 오늘 내룩의 찰떡.
마시고 분리수거 끝.
많은 분들이 아이시스 에코를 따르고 있습니다.
이것도 라벨이 없네?
무라벨은 따라해도 대환영. 팔로우디 에코. 아이시스 에코.
숙취 요즘 누가 저렇게 깨니? 맨날 똑같은 거, 맛없는 거 깨. 이제 탄산으로 깨. 숙취 해소의 새로운 기준. 가스강. 환도 역시 가스강이 대세.
디자인하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
Quarterfinals. Hurricane, Maru, Innovation, Trap, GSL Season 1, Code S. Africa TV, Freak Up Studio, Live. LG Ultra Gear and Hot 6, 2021, GSL Season 1.
Welcome back to GSL Code S. We are still in the middle of the final best of 5 in the round of 8. One of these two players moves on to that final slot so we can start the round of 4. It's Trap versus Innovation. Trap is looking to be playing the games he wants right now. Innovation is being more abstract in his play, taking more risks, but it's not working. The games he's won, or the game he won really, looked like any other Innovation win on any given day. Here, I think Innovation might want to lean back into the style that's worked.
Yeah, I would like to see him just play kind of straight up.
Yeah.
Just try to muscle your way through. I mean, I know it's tough against Trap, but, you know.
All right, let's start game 4.
2021, GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life like dead by
KaiZ Gaming, Innovation. Africa Freaks, Trap.
You know, I just thought of something about the players we have left in this tournament. It's actually, we have like a few very exciting storylines.
Yeah.
Because, like, you and I both think that Dream is going to get slaughtered by Rogue. Like, right? We think
I mean,
Rogue is
yeah,
gonna get him.
I think it would be one of the craziest upsets in even the last couple years.
I
if
love
Dream would beat Rogue, I would love to see Dream advance, but Rogue is one of those players that is a wall in a bracket. It's not so much like, oh, but he does this style and this guy, who knows, you know, he could do this or that. Like, with these two guys, it could go either way for sure.
Yeah.
It's looking like Trap's going to take it, but that's because we've only had 3 games. But when you look at Rogue, sometimes Rogue is just untouchable.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Dream's the caliber player that could take him on. I would
hard to imagine.
I want Dream to be the caliber player to take him on, but if I had to predict right now, yeah, that's where I'd put it.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm thinking. So then if you look at the other 3 players that could be in the finals, right? It's like, if Rogue wins another GSL, right, that would be his 3rd GSL Code S victory, which puts him in some ridiculously esteemed company, right? Like, for 3 GSL Code S's for Zerg, that's only Nest-T, right? It's only Nest-T that has 3 for Zerg.
I think you might be right.
Yeah,
I'd want to double check that.
Terran has several players with 3 or more, but yeah. It's like winningest for Zerg is 3 at Nest-T, I believe. So and I mean, Rogue has already won
also
basically
Sue
the most tournaments.
never won at the GSL, so that was the other
most
weird
finals.
thing. Yeah, most finals.
But yeah, and then you look at like Maru, he might win his 5th GSL, or Innovation. Right, is like an insane story as well. If he wins a GSL now, because he's won so many tournaments for so long, it just like extends this period where he's a championship caliber player.
Yeah.
Like, the longest of everyone, especially if he wins another one. And then it's like, Trap hasn't won GSL yet, but he really deserves one, right? 2 second places. So I don't know. It's just, the tournament is like really turning out nicely. I'm quite pleased. Thank you, players.
Here comes a small attack down here. Adept going to be shaded back just a little bit. Nothing made at that northern pylon yet.
Yeah, what is the plan
Assume
up
it's going to
there?
be a Stargate or something, or?
It feels too late for a Stargate. I think
Yeah,
it might
but
just
I
be
don't
a
know.
gateway for warp. No, because he's making a robo. It could just be a pylon to just warp in a couple zealots later or something.
I don't know. Or maybe to spot for a drop later on. I mean, there's no harm in putting something there, too.
It could be. Well, he actually gets like 3 probes, gets a full scout, too. That was pretty good. I think that's really good usage of a single Hellion and 2 Reapers.
Okay, yeah, that's
just warping.
That answers that. Kind of funny.
Maybe he boosts out a prism and sends it across, and just like he wants to put the pressure on now. There is no bunker, Tasteless.
Yeah, with no bunker, you know, the Stalkers can just win a fight against Marines. They're actually much better units overall.
Oh man, already picks one off right there, even using the probe damage a little bit.
I think that was a Hellion that went down. Was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Its speed looks like it's a
I
Hellion.
don't think it was a Cyclone or something. So, oh, sorry, it was a Cyclone. My bad.
Oh, 1 health, 1 kill.
But with the siege tank out, this means the Stalkers are no longer, you know, the units with superior range, so they don't get to basically stay back and try to take a fight.
Cyclone running around trying to find a way back home. Continuing to rally out Marines. He does not even build a bunker. Isn't that interesting? I think every Terran on Earth would build a bunker here.
It looks funny without a bunker, but
yeah, like just to not have a bunker.
He's fine now, but the bunker is kind of the deterrent for everything else. I mean, that's how in other games he wasn't picked off, and he's just going to attack.
Well,
which
I
is
mean,
why
if
there's
you're
no
not building a
bunker.
bunker, it just has to be for something super optimized.
Okay, so this is some
a
little bit of a different.
No starport or anything. It was quick
pulling
3
of the
barracks.
boys. Yeah.
Stim and combat shields are going to be done. He's sending the
So
SCVs.
he doesn't have any way to heal here, but the goal is to just stim, smother with SCVs, and win.
This is a 1-shot, 1-kill move.
Yeah.
All right, actually gets a sick lock on there. Look at that. Gets an extra stalker with that 1 hit point unit brought back from the dead. All right, there is a prism in the main base. They're going to set up the 2 siege tanks, and the Immortal trying to get up here and target. Oh, Trap pauses the game.
Okay.
What could this be?
That is...
Trap is unhappy.
I don't know what to say. I wonder what happened.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean,
Wow. This is not a good situation because I think Trap is just about to die.
Well, yeah, no, I think he's. If looking at the screen right now, I have it on my screen. You guys can't see it at home, but the Immortal is almost surrounded.
Yep.
And so this is one of the awkward moments where, like, sure, we can resume from any point, but like, where do you resume?
Yeah.
1 Stalker was already targeted and killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he has a prism that's in Trap's main, and actually, I mean, in Innovation's main, it actually took him a little bit to unload it. Like,
yeah, and also, if you pull the game back a little bit, then you know that you can stop the prism. If you start the game right where it is now, the Immortal's already surrounded. So I do think this looks like it should be a Terran win on almost any metric you're going to measure this at. Because with the drop in the main for Terran, or the Terran being dropped, I should say, to be clear, by Trap, the Protoss, it doesn't matter if he takes economic damage because the attack that's hitting the 2 base for Trap is intended to end the game anyways. He's not worried about being able to reinforce units, and he's not worried about his base being destroyed because Terran buildings fly.
Yeah, so right now, guys, you can't see it, but just to say exactly what's going on up there, there is, of course, we have the 2 Stalkers, or I think it's 3 Stalkers, one of which is badly damaged. That's no. Okay. Here's what the units are at the natural for Trap. He's got an Immortal. The shield has already been procced. He's warping in 2 Zealots, and he has 3 Stalkers, one of which is very damaged, and 1 Adept. And there's like a lot of Marines and SCVs, and the Cyclone looks like it's probably going to die.
There's a second battery that's about to finish. The first battery is I think literally about to start healing. But I think that this is a game where it's first of all, we don't know why Trap paused.
Yeah.
We don't. Oh, hold on. Trap is saying his screen
Stopped
hiccuped
for
for 3 seconds.
Okay.
Which is a lot
It
of time.
wouldn't surprise me if that's true because the Immortal kind of walked pretty far. Well, it looks like he right-clicked it onto the Cyclone, right? But then it kind of went too far. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do about this.
I don't know, man.
But it is hard to imagine with Stim. Stim is done, and Combat Shields is done in 4 seconds, which Combat Shields basically undoes Stim damage, right?
Yeah, keep in mind, like, specifically this kind of attack is meant to, like, cut the Protoss's head off.
Yeah.
Like, the damage output, it's not supposed to be a back and forth. It's the SCVs swarming the few Protoss units that are there, mainly the Immortal, which is about to be surrounded.
Yeah.
The Stim, and you don't care if you have to Stim 2 more times after that with the Combat Shields being done and just finish the game out. It looks like Trap is...
But you have to minimum kill the natural here. Like, that is the absolute minimum.
But I think, looking at this, I think he can win that fight straight up, right?
Yes.
And
all he has to do is target correctly here. That's all that's left. And honestly, he can just look at this during this pause break and just decide, like, okay,
that's what's
I'm going to
kind of weird
target
about
this
the situation.
battery and then target that Immortal, and then I'm going to make sure my tanks don't die to these 3 Stalkers flanking.
While we have this downtime, little reminder here: ASL Day 4 is out.
That's
when
right.
You're done
we
with
just
the
had
SPOD,
that out.
Yeah. While this is getting figured out, when we finish these games up, it's on the same YouTube channel that you're watching now.
Yep.
So just look up ASL Day 4.
Day 4. It's an awesome day.
Group
D.
Yeah, Group D, and more ASL still to come. And I don't know. I think this is one of the harder calls to make.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't
like being a referee is so difficult, anyways. But what do you do here?
Not a job I'd want to have, to be honest.
Certainly
where you just
not.
have to. I mean, what makes this specifically hard is it is such a sensitive moment in the game.
Yeah, yeah. It really
it's
is.
not even like parts where there were drops and expansions, and this is a very unusual attack.
Yeah, yeah. He skipped the port. This is why he didn't make the bunker. He was just like completely optimized the whole time.
Because if an attack came at him anyways, he's like, I'm going to attack out across the map
he's
either
making
way.
as many units as he possibly can get for this. So, like, Innovation's attack, I think it's going to kill him.
He's thinking about that Immortal. That's why he's smiling. He's like,
he's
there,
like,
you can't get away.
Game 5.
There it is.
They say I'm washed up.
Yeah.
I
thought he had a neck pillow on for a second. I thought he had no arms and a neck pillow on.
A trap arm neck pillow.
Yeah.
I'd buy one of those.
So, obviously there's deliberation that we're not in on, but they were starting to type a message. They stopped. So I think we have to wait and see. Very cool attack from the Terran.
Yeah, yeah.
Very different.
Well, when Innovation mixes in some of these builds, I think it just makes his play all the stronger.
It does make sense to try something like this because Trap is anything that's super straight down the middle. If Trap's playing that way, he's probably going to be fine against most pushes. And, we call it pulling the boys, taking a large amount of your SCVs, whether it's all of them or 70%, or in this case, just the ones that were mining at the natural. But sending that out there, that can change the math a little bit. And it's cool to see this new timing attack. But clearly, this was in Innovation's back pocket to get to a Game 5 here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel for both the players here. This sucks.
Yeah, yeah, it's a tough one because, like, if we go back 3 seconds, that's before the Immortal took any damage.
But it's also before the Warp Prism came to the main.
I think, like you said, I think the Warp Prism is not as much as a factor. I think it all comes down to this push. It's like 3 Stalkers, and he can't warp in any more units there, and he's building 4 Marines at a time and a tank.
But then as this attack comes here, is it better to send the Warp Prism back? Because you can
I think
micro
you
it?
recall it, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, Innovation's like...
He's turned himself into a ball here.
Yeah. He's in fetal position if the plane is crashing, so they're going to show him. So wait.
So
what are we watching here?
Okay, so basically during this, and you can actually find this on the Africa TV website, guys, is we stream their screens while they play as well. So we actually do have video footage to see what is happening, right? Like if his screen freezes, they can actually go check that.
Yeah.
So I think what he just showed there is like,
screen
okay,
did in fact freeze.
Yeah, at some moment. All right, so we're going to be remaking this game and relaunching from replay.
And they have rule books for this if this happens, so there's some system in place, and we just go from there. And
yep. Well, they definitely had to check what was what and how far back that was. You know, obviously when Trap says my screen froze for 3 seconds, that's like an estimate in his head for how long it was. He wasn't counting 1 Mississippi, 2
They were like
Mississippi,
4 seconds. You are out of this tournament.
You lied. It was 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, it felt like 3. I don't know. I was just saying, you know.
So now, I mean, here we are. Innovations, you know, StarCraft 2 especially, I think out of all RTS games is really down to occasionally fractions of a second.
Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, you can actually have your screen at the wrong spot and be punished for it.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, he's not going to set his SCVs back. We may see a recall with the War Prism. Again, keep in mind there are no medevacs with this attack. This is not a normal attack. There's only so much possible stims available depending on how the Marine's HP is. And
yeah, we were 4.2 seconds out of combat shield, so I guess when we see that pop up on screen, we'll know exactly how much we've gone back.
Good call.
But
so we were just received confirmation from production. It is confirmed.
Yeah. Okay, and we're gonna go exactly 2 seconds before. So we ended the game at 5:45. We're going to 5:43.
Right.
Okay. And also, one other thing, if you recall the Prism, I think you got to do with main Nexus so you can overcharge your battery at your natural.
Oh,
right?
good point. Yeah.
So,
well, I think you wouldn't want to recall it, or maybe you actually, if you wanted to, would want to do it back there. But you're probably right for distribution.
Yeah,
purposes.
I think you need to hit an overcharge.
Economize each of the abilities of the buildings there. Yeah, I think you're probably right.
Well, I don't know exactly what he's going to decide to do. I'm excited. We're getting ready, guys. It's loading right now.
We're halfway to loading this back up. Right. Again, if Innovation loses this, he's out. If Trap loses this, we go to Game 5 on 2,000 atmospheres. And, yeah. Let's see exactly where the game resumes. Artosa said it was 4.2 seconds from finishing combat shields.
No, I saw where they're reloading, right? So we paused the game at 5:45. We're resuming at 5:43.
Okay, so this is
before the Immortal is
before it
targeted
comes on
anything.
screen here. Yeah, the Immortal is down. It is not surrounded. The tanks would be about to siege. The Adepts and Stalkers to the right of the army are going to come in there and meet. We're doing the countdown.
8.5 seconds on combat shield, so it actually was more than that.
Okay, here we go.
Yeah, so here comes the Immortal. It stays further back this time. The Probe's coming up, flanking right now with those Stalkers. The shield batteries are healing like mad right now. He does hit that stim off.
Yeah, the Immortal's pretty badly hurt. He's running down to the bottom.
Yeah, he's targeting down that Immortal so quickly. Now the Stalkers are going to come up.
All right,
and
GG.
yeah, well, that happens sometimes, right? We had to rewind it, but like he was pretty dead. We were telling you guys, Innovation's like trying so hard not to smile, but do you know what, Tasteless? It's okay to smile. This is kind of funny that we were paused for 10 minutes
it's like,
to figure out 2 seconds of replay time.
Everybody's looking at it. It's like, okay, man, I mean, this Terran should win this, but, you know, what if Innovation barely doesn't?
Trapp is literally laughing about it. I mean, because he's like, yeah, no, I'm sorry, but, like, we had to, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
You never know.
The thing is, like, let's say Trapp barely held that off. Like, barely, somehow, some way.
Well, he actually didn't even know that stim was done.
Oh, that's a good
point.
point.
Hadn't stimmed before, and as soon as he stims, I think you're like, oh, no, there's like a lot of damage here.
Those things are fast, and this Immortal cannot get away.
Yeah. Okay, so we're going to go on to Game 5. I'm really excited for the Game 5 now.
Yeah.
So Innovations won 2 game timing pushes. Very quick. Well, the thing is, the game that he won on Nautilus was a macro game as well. He wasn't all in or anything. This game he was.
Innovation is going to use his brake. Some of the pros never use their brakes. And Yeah. We'll be talking for a little bit longer up here. Anti-climactic moment back there. Is my collar okay? Or tell me to fix my collar. What's wrong with my collar?
Tastes us so much, but it's okay. You'll be fine. Well, okay, so Innovation taking this little break. We're going to go into 2000 Atmospheres. This is a very new map. They haven't played this one as much.
It's a map we're still unpacking as casters. Usually the newer maps in a GSL, and we're seeing this in other esports as well. If you can ban a map, it's going to be the new one if you're playing this game all day, every day.
Yeah, it seems like the Protoss players really like to ban Blackburn so far against Terran, which makes sense. Yeah, for... Wait, the other ban, what was the other ban? I'm trying to think of it.
They had it on screen. I can't remember either.
Yeah, I can't remember. Was it Oxide?
No.
No. No, it wasn't.
We played a game on Oxide.
Lightshade? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm just saying map names. I'm like, Abyssal Reef?
Let's make ourselves look worse and worse. What do you think?
Metalopolis?
It's going to come down to this last game. Innovation is winning with these very specific kind of all-ins or timing attacks.
Yeah.
Actually, I guess the first game we won was not an all-in at all. It was very straightforward.
Yeah.
But this one was a very cool, unique attack that was clearly saved for trap.
Yeah, and I'm not sure exactly how he decided that this was where he wanted to do it, but it worked out fantastically. I don't know what his plan is for 2000 Atmospheres, but he's definitely shown a wider variety of TVP builds here than we normally do see from him. So he's definitely come in very, very highly prepped.
So... yeah, I don't know. The thing is, this new map, I don't know well enough to really say whether or not there's some special build.
Well, Innovation might... You never know. Like, people are pretty good nowadays about checking out things like Liberator spots. So we generally don't get a map into the pool where there's, like, a broken... Like, I found a patch that you can't hit my Liberator or anything like that.
Some weird exploitative thing on a map that, like, someone who just hasn't played on enough doesn't know.
Yeah, and Beckett isn't in the map pool, which is where we would really have some of that stuff going on.
Okay.
Here we go.
2000 Atmospheres, right? It has an S at the end?
He put his mask on? Okay, he takes his mask off. Oh, he put his mask on to go to the bathroom. Then he's like, wait a minute, is my mask on?
Yeah.
My breathing is weird. What's going on?
Am I going to get COVID from Protoss? Probably, dude.
He stayed safe for over a year, and
That's
now
right. He's definitely washing his hands after this game. Let's just put that out there. Innovation Trap, Game 5. Let's get this going and get the better player into the round of 4.
2021 GSL Season 1.
We stood at the edge of the world, seized the stakes. They're living a life like dead body candles.
Kai-Z Gaming. Innovation. Afrika Freaks. Trap.
All right. This is kind of exciting. I'm glad it did go to Game 5.
Oh, yeah, me too. This is a tough one to call. I mean, Innovation, I think with that very sharp build, and not exactly an Innovation-like build. I know we've seen Innovation pull SCVs a lot in his career, but not quite like that. On 2 base, no medevac.
Yeah.
It seems like Innovation's had plenty of games where he like looks at, he sizes up where the game's at and he goes, okay, you know what, forget about it. Just takes his SCVs and goes.
Yeah, for sure.
That was a very specific type of attack that's like meant to blindside Trap, and I mean, it worked. Get wrecked, Probe. Go the long way. Oh, what's up?
He flanks him too. He's like, no, I'm here too.
Yeah. Oh, no, my CC's blocking you.
Look at you. You took hull damage. How's that feel?
Your hull never heals. So much for your technology. You can't fix your robots? What is this?
You can't fix your robots.
You can't fix your robots in this game.
Yeah. Well, Protoss don't have thumbs, right? So they can't hold tools.
That is... Do they not have thumbs? Wait a minute. Is that actually true?
Yeah, think of a Protoss.
No, that's actually... Yeah, of course they have thumbs. What are you talking about?
So, wait.
What do you think they
some
walk
of them
around
have
with?
3 fingers and some have 4
They have
fingers.
thumb. I'm looking this up right now.
Dude, Protoss don't have thumbs.
Just hands. Let me look this up. Toes just make stuff up.
They
They have thumbs.
They don't have thumbs.
I'm looking at pictures of them right now. They all have
Show
thumbs.
Me. Show me.
Yeah, look. Look at any of these pictures.
Dude, this picture doesn't show thumbs. What are you
There's
even talking
thumbs right there on their hands.
Show me a naked picture of a Zella. There's no thumbs there.
There's his thumb. Look at those are thumbs, man.
Those are just fingers.
Those are thumbs. They actually have 2 thumbs on each hand if you look at it closely.
2 thumbs?
Yeah.
Well, that's OP, Tasteless.
I know, kidding.
Damn.
Artosis thought they just had flippers. It's unreal, Artosis.
Sometimes it feels that way, but...
So, we got a Twilight Council, actually. Very different build here from Trap. With 4 thumbs. Just point that out.
I can tell you what, Tasteless, this is a proud moment for you. I'm really happy for you so that
this is
one day you can tell your future children. And then I told Artosis they do have
I
thumbs.
know. They're all laughing and sucking on their thumbs. And
yeah.
Oh, is he going to get it? Oh, doesn't quite get the last shot off. Nice play with these Adepts. Just get behind the minerals.
Just a bit of harassment there. Picks off that SCV, which is really nice.
Protoss would be very good at console games with those extra thumbs, man. Yeah. Okay.
It's because of the controller, right?
Yes, Artosis.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, it's because they can insert the disc into the console better. What are we talking about?
I don't know, man.
What?
I'm just wondering, man. I don't know. I'm not an e-gamer like you,
No,
Tasteless.
you can't e-game at all, apparently.
No, I guess not. I got to use with my little primitive Terran hands, you know, the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
I don't got double thumbs for my Xbox controller to hit my force
He
fields.
thinks better Finns when he says that, too. Whoa! Whoa! I forgot this is an underwater map.
Yeah.
The Terrans die and are turned into leaves and blown away.
Okay, gonna drop these mines off into, well, one into the natural. Some lost mining time, which is always nice. Try to chase these down now. Yeah, it doesn't really get too much done. 3 probes, picks up 1 of the mines and gets out of there with the medevac for now. Blink almost done. 3rd Nexus about to finish. Stim and combat shields just now starting up.
So, I mean, from here, we're in, at least idea-wise, a similar position, a little bit to the game that Trap lost, where a pretty standard push came out. Not saying it's going to be the same results this time around. Is he going to get in? No, okay, he's going to back up.
Oh, you might find a spot, though.
Yeah, these Adepts can't really... No, he's going to keep it back here.
Yeah,
Better to save it for later on.
This is kind of a nice thing about 2,000 atmospheres. If you're in this dead airspace in the back, you can pop out of the natural or the main, which is not something many maps have.
He's going to come in here, and, I mean, there's enough Marines.
Can't get too much, but a few. Oh,
whoa,
almost
nice.
loses one. Does get out. All right, charge is on the way, a prism in 1,000,000 gates. So this is actually turning super aggro now.
Yeah.
Now, innovation, like, oh, he kills his bunker,
I think
so...
this just means he's going to attack out.
Yeah, I don't think that's good for him because there's going to be way more units than he's expecting. Look, this is a little attack compared to what Trap's about to have.
Yeah. Any damage he could try to dish onto this while running away is going to be pretty good.
Now, here goes the Prism. If he chases him all the way across and there's a warping of Zealots in the main base, that could be really dire for Innovation.
Oh, it looks like it might get
Did he
spotted.
I think he barely missed it,
Did
actually.
he really miss that?
I think he just didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't see any behavior in the main base to indicate that he knows this is out there, but you got to know this could happen. Yeah, he doesn't know because he just picked up a bunch of units for a drop.
He's putting out his 3rd base on location. All right, Azal comes out and sees this, so now he's got to go with this.
He's like, you know, it's hard to deal with during an attack, a drop. Meanwhile, there's a drop coming at him. Okay. Oh, not the best force field. He does pick up the rest and pull away.
Yeah, runs into that mine right there, but the drop is going off into Innovation's main base. His SCV's starting to fall, and really no damage done yet here on this side. Now a recall as the double drop goes in from Innovation. 4 SCVs have died. Oh, but look at this. As the recall goes up, he goes in and tries to get some damage done, but with that overcharge, has to back out.
Okay, Terran trying to do some damage, maybe take this pylon out down here. I'm sorry, where did the units go that were in the Warp Prism?
He killed him.
Okay.
He lost 4 SCVs, so it's not all that bad, really.
Oh, so that actually got it. Warp Prism coming back home. Now, Scans takes out the Observer, but I'll tell you what, man, I mean, he's not making a lot of headway here. The Terran army is much, much weaker right now than the Protoss' army, and with a third being taken and a push coming out, I'd be worried. But good read by Trap. He's going to come back home. He knows the vulnerable spot would be inside of his main. Oh, no, he doesn't know. I'm sorry.
No,
I thought he was going all the way around.
He thought he was running away. There's not that many units in here. Guys, does go ahead and drop, and oh my god, he's bringing in that mine finally. Oh, well, okay. That could have been very cool with that mine. That was like a long story waiting to happen.
Yeah.
Okay, Prism flies into the main base.
He's going to pull this a little bit further away from those mines. Oh, nice pickup there. And he needs to get this Warp in out before these Liberators kill this. He cancels, he pulls away.
Yeah.
But I think the Warp Prism's basically served its purpose here.
Yeah, it's done a bit. I actually thought he was going to get a little bit more done with it.
Should he have let that Warp in finish, or was there not enough time?
I don't think it was worthwhile.
Okay.
Yeah, that was going to get cleaned pretty quickly. Now, Liberators are coming out for Inno. He's got 3 bases, just like Trap does. Flash, that's all I think about. And look, we have a big army supply for Innovation. He's at 1-1 upgrades against 0-0, +1 just starting for Trap. This is looking pretty darn good for Innovation. Is it not, Tasteless?
This is looking great for him. I mean, we'll see how the next couple of engagements go. Psystorm inbound here is certainly going to be difficult to deal with, but I mean, I don't see a ton of Stalkers right now either here for Trap, unless there's somewhere that we don't have on screen. And look, you do need the Stalkers. Okay, there we go. That actually changes my mind entirely. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
I thought those were killed off.
Okay, he's going to set up these Liberators, and the Stalker's blinking in immediately to try to deal with them, but that means they have no blink to get away against the Marauders, but Storm's zone them out.
On the Widow Mines like that.
Oh, man.
And this may be too much, though. A lot of Marauders, 3 Immortals in the back, Widow Mines slowly filing in.
Yeah, and we actually have the Zealots doing some counter-harass, as we see in the bottom right there as well, but it looks like Innovation will end up clearing everything there as far as Stalkers go. Another Storm goes down. He's trying to chase down these Immortals, and he has enough Marauders to do it.
The last Immortal could be targeted down. It's in range of the shield battery. Oh, my God, he does manage to snipe down that medevac. Very nicely done. Is there going to be counterplay here from Protoss? There was no army that he was able to escape with and then loop around, do some kind of U-turn into the main or even the third. But Protoss' army overall, not as sophisticated as I think he wants it. I think that's only Immortal.
Yeah, he's rebuilding it, but you're definitely right. He lost most of his high-quality units there. He'll remake them over time. Now, for Innovation, I feel like his idea there was the Liberator Siege plus Medevac drop, which is a very old tactic we don't see anymore, but is very, very strong. So the fact that Trap caught that is very impressive.
And sees the exact number of medevacs. Terran can't commit with this.
He's going with it again. Well, if you set up 2 Liberators as you drop, like, it is very hard to clear that. But there is a High Templar in there and a lot of Stalkers.
So he's not going to commit with that drop. Instead, we see he's going to try to set up out here. And, I mean, this is an okay spot.
Yeah, I don't think this is super valuable what he's doing.
You're going to get a gateway, maybe. But while he's got this set up, he can push out. Here comes another Warp Prism, though.
Yeah, Innovation doesn't have, like, turrets there. He doesn't have a Viking there. Yeah,
I don't think he should have even done that.
It's not. There's no real value that he's gaining with this. It's like, do you really need that Twilight? Or?
Honestly, yeah. The answer is actually you don't.
You do not.
Yeah, it's one of the few buildings you can lose in a game like this, and you don't even have to remake it.
Those Storms are insane. Yeah, that was totally stomped upon. 9 SCVs taken out in that main base with that Zealot warping.
Yeah.
And he continues here. The third base, nothing at it. Innovation's so busy across the map. leaving his home
Yeah,
undefended.
I mean, just
what
kind of
is this
setting up
doing?
this like subpar position down here.
What is that position?
That Protoss doesn't even have to engage with until they have the free APM to do so.
Yeah, it's like, you can't have right here. It's like, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe what he's trying to do is have something scary over there so that he can hit elsewhere, and if anything gets out of position, he can make a move. I think that must be it, because I can't make...
Problem is that it hasn't happened, and Protoss has actually grown into the upper left.
Storm's going down. Does make the Archon there.
Oop, tries to get that one mine. Actually gets it killed.
Oh my god, he's actually going to come in, but there's a flank of units coming up, so
wow.
those Stalkers are going to be wrecked.
But I think there might just be too much over here. Everything else Protoss to break this position. Now, Innovation probably going to pick up and pull away. He might try to go into the main. Maybe not. I don't know. Weapons level 2 is going to finish up here.
Well, he killed a ton of Stalkers, so there might not be that much there.
Oh!
Very low health.
So close. The slow drip of Zealots has just been so devastating to the third base.
Look at this
Great
innovation.
Storm.
He is keeping so much aggression on, just running through the Storms now, targeting down everything, going after these Immortals. He does break them.
One shots that last Immortal and is slowly strafing to the left.
Big pickup.
How many more Storms are available, though? I mean, keep in mind, there's not that much heal left here.
He's got to get out of here. He's going to get just destroyed if he stays.
And the way this attack's gone, Protoss could actually... Oh, well, never mind. I was going to say get this base, but that's already happened, apparently. I think Trap is moments away from closing this out. If Innovation doesn't do something drastic.
Innovation has been so aggressive non-stop this game. Sometimes for good, sometimes to his own detriment. And now Trap pushes forward towards a round of 4.
He's done it. GG. Trap goes on to the Final 4 of the GSL. Codas Season 1. What a great fight it was, though.
It really was. And Innovation had the edge for that game a little bit, so felt like we might see him back in that round of 4. Unfortunately, though, Trap a little bit too strong on that defense. Kept his macro up, microed well. An excellent series, though, between the two.
Yes.
People need to stop trash-talking Innovation, man. I mean, he's still got it.
And yeah, he had I think, a more developed style, and I think he's still finding himself as a player. You know,
it's a never-ending journey.
It is. It's truly, yeah. All right, poopy face there for Innovation. Sadly, does not advance, but we'll see him again. Innovation's going to be around for a long time. We're going to go to that interview now with Trap and see how he's feeling.
It's got to be feeling pretty darn good, Tasteless, going up against a former teammate Maru.
That's
in the
right.
Round of 4.
Interview time.
Wow, what a close match that was, but in the end, it is Trap picking up the win. Congratulations, Trap. Thank you. Well, the last game was so nerve-wracking. So how do you feel after that victory?
너무 난전이어서.
You know, like there were so many skirmishes and everything was so messy.
그냥 게임이 너무 엎치락뒤치락해서.
You know, just everything was like flipping one side and the other another.
진출하는 타이밍까지 결과를 몰랐었어.
And I just couldn't predict the outcome until the last moment. So now you're gonna move on to round 4, Trap. So what does this mean to you?
네. 최근에 좀
Well, recently,
과정에서 힘들어가지고
in times of preparation, I've had some hardships,
자괴감이 많이 들었는데,
and you know, I wasn't satisfied with my performance these days. But you know, I'm really happy the result today was good.
내려놔야 될 것 같아요.
And I think it's time I kind of let down my worries.
너무 많은 것 같아서.
So like, you know, compared to my performance, I think I have too much worries in my head.
정찰을 컨셉으로 또 가져오셨잖아요. 그 이유가
And today you showed great scouting today, Trap.
신영 형이 요즘에 전략적인 승부를 많이 하더라고요.
Innovation these days, he's kind of working on the strategies.
테란들이 초반에 할 게 많고
And Terrans have a lot to do in the beginning of the game. So in terms of rocks, paper, scissors, Terran has the advantage, I think. So today I try to play kind of passive. In Nautilus and Jaganasa, we saw some innovation specialties, and that's why you lost.
어떻게 좀 체감을 하셨는지 궁금하네요.
So how are you able to deal with innovation's timing attacks?
노틸러스는 센터 배럭 보고 나서
Well, in Nautilus,
이거 뭐 하는 거지?
I saw the center barracks. And then I was wondering what he was up to. And then I got punished in Jagannath.
제가 좀 잘 못했던 것 같아요.
I think I just played poorly, to be honest.
중간에 퍼즐을 거는 일이 있었는데.
And you know, I had to pause the game. So I'm kind of sorry to the viewers for doing my pause.
꼭 제가 경기할 때 자주 이러는 것 같아요.
You know, it happens to me a lot of times.
걸리거나 멈추다 보니까
The game was lagging, and this happens to me quite a few times in GSL.
한순간 최선을 다하신다는 점에서
But Trap, it's really impressive how you just concentrate every second.
되돌린다고 이길 수 있을 것 같냐? 이
And innovation in chat in the game, he said, "Do you think rewinding the game by 3 seconds will change your future?" That's what he wrote down.
더 많이 했었거든요. 근데
How did you feel when you saw that?
좀 대회에서 이기다 보니까.
You know, recently I beat innovation quite a lot.
그래서 원래 당하던 그 심한 그런 건 아닌 것 같고.
So this was not the level of provocation that I would get offended at.
받아들인다는 생각이어서.
Yeah, so you know.
인터뷰 때
I was alright with that.
멘탈적인 부분에 영향은 없었어요.
So in the interview, you know, I wasn't offended by his by his way of conducting the interview. So it is Trap filling the last slot in the round of 4.
조성주 선수거든요.
So you will be playing against Maru,
이번에는
your previous teammate of Junior Green Wings. So how do you view this matchup?
성주랑 이번에 준비를 같이 했거든요.
Well, I actually practiced with Maru. You know, we try to move on to round of 4 together.
성주가 요즘 너무 잘하더라고요.
Maru these days have been showing great performance.
목표는 이뤘으니까 저는 편하게 할 생각이고.
So now that I've accomplished my goal, I'm gonna try to play comfortably.
아니면 성주가 우승할 것 같아요.
And I think this season it might be Rogue or Maru lifting up the trophy for GSL. And the round of 8 and the round of 4 is clearly different. So today I'm gonna try to play with an easy mind. Okay, Trap, before you go, anything you want to say?
항상 응원해 주시는 팬분들께
I'm always grateful to my fans.
이번에 좀 퍼즈가 걸렸잖아요.
You know, the pause today.
상황을 모르고 진짜 최선을 다하려고 이렇게.
I just tried my best, and then I had to pause the game because the game was so laggy.
그래서
So sorry about that.
그럼 시청자분들께 좀 긴장감 넘치는 상황이셨을 텐데.
So I know that the viewers were very nervous about that match as well.
조성우 선수의 마음이 충분히 전달이 됐을
All right, thank you, Trap, for your interview. Once again, congratulations on your advancement. Thank you.
Thank you for translating, Andy. Excellent work as always. We're done with the round of 8, guys. It just gets better from here.
Indeed. Well, it just has continually gotten better. I think today was absolutely fantastic.
Yeah. Had a lot of fun casting these games tonight.
Yes, indeed.
So, in the round of 4, we've got Dream versus Rogue. Really a David versus Goliath match there. I mean, if Dream can do it, who can he lose to? I don't know.
Well,
I mean, he beats Rogue. It's insane. I think Rogue may be the favorite for this entire tournament. And then Maru versus Trap is going to be close. It's going to be, I think, really insightful for how the matchup is operating.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of games out of there. I don't think that'll be one-sided. No matter what, I think it's impossible.
Well, and it gets amazing here as well because it's best of 7s.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm kind of feeling Rogue, but I have no idea on Maru versus Trap, and I hope that Dream can make some upsets here. Like, he's very good at the moment.
Let's say that Rogue advances, which I think is a safe prediction, of course. It's either going to be Rogue versus Maru or Rogue versus Trap, which is an ideal finals, no matter how you cut it.
Yeah.
We've got the best Zerg, the best Protoss, the best Terran,
and I think
here in GSL, and it's like, yeah, I mean, this is great.
And honestly, Dream, if he happens to advance, if he gets to play against Trap, he has some of the best TVP in my opinion. I love his TVP, so that would be an amazing finals as well. But Dream Maru, nah, TVT's good too.
TVT is fine, but I think that's out of all the possible matchups, it's probably the one we want the least.
Yes, indeed.
We'll worry about that when we get there.
Yeah, yeah. Best of 7s, guys. They start next week on Monday. It's going to be amazing. Cannot wait for that.
Again, do not forget that ASL Day 4 is up on the Africa TV YouTube, and there will be more days to come as soon as we can possibly get them up there. So you're not
your
done.
StarCraft's not done. It's literally on this YouTube channel you're
done.
on. So just like it's probably like 2 clicks away maximum.
Yeah.
It might be in the sidebar. I don't know. Okay, but definitely check it out. Group D was fantastic. We'll have Group E and F up in the next few days.
And thank you, everybody, for supporting us on Patreon. And we're going to be back on Monday for the round of 4.
That's right. It's going to be awesome. And then Thursday for the other round of 4. And
there
then
you go.
We're almost done the tournament.
Felt like it went really fast.
It really has felt that way.
They're still plugging the Hot 6. I thought they were going to do that in the middle of the show.
They're paying the bills, Tasteless.
They are.
That Hot 6
They
call
are.
out just gave us our salary for today.
That's right. Exciting to see Trap advance, and I think Innovation had some great games.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
sure.
It's kind of sad not to see him go up, but I think this is in many ways a more exciting match.
Yeah.
I mean, Maru Innovation actually would be pretty sick in a best of 7 format, but like Trap Maru, we're really going to see basically the best TVP you can get.
And Dream showing us that there are players that were not as strong as before that are now in the top 4, which is exciting.
He's looked good on his way there, too.
Sometimes they get in the top 4 a couple more times and win a tournament. Other times they sink back down.
You're talking about Armani there. I know, Taste.
That's what I was talking about, yes. But yeah, let's see what happens with that. I'm wishing Dream the best of luck. I hope we have a long, close series. He has a couple more days to prepare for that. This is like the music they play at the Oscars where I have to accept my award. I'm too drunk to keep giving the speech, and we have to end the show. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We will see you on Monday. Go check out ASL. That's your homework. Bye-bye.
Felt so